What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today, man? Let me get my boy on here. Hey, Tony.
Toot toot.
What's going on, everybody? Got about 50 of you in the room so far. In case you didn't know it, this is our second episode, man. And I think officially we need to go ahead and announce that the official sponsor of this live stream is going to be Third Pin Threads, man.
I like your shirt, dude.
I like yours too. Hey, and there was no memo. That just sort of happened that way.
Yeah. We both picked what we thought was the right shirt, and we picked the same one. Great minds think alike.
So, hey, man, for those of you watching, I appreciate you being here. And I just want to let you know, we won't harp on it too much right now, but we're going to come back and touch on this a little bit here and there, that we just launched 7 brand new shirts on thirdpinthreads.com. They are going to be on display for you this entire live stream. You can go check out thirdpinthreads.com down below. 7 brand new designs that I'm most excited about. My favorite's this one right here. We buy junk guns. I know what I got. No calls, no texts. Well, we accept calls, no texts. Anyway, we still have some hats on the website, guys, and later on we're going to take you through thirdpinthreads.com and show you some shirts. But for now, thanks for joining us. Tony, how are you today?
I'm doing great. We were hanging out earlier today, so, it's like this is just like a normal day for us, just getting to hang out all day long.
There's the tan line from today.
Dude, same. Look at that shit.
Dude. It was 109 degrees when we left the range, by the way. It was brutal.
Hey, for those of y'all who are watching, I always like to start these things by getting some comments going. I would like to know where you're from and what are you drinking tonight? Cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
I see hi from Hungary. Oh, man. We got an international base showing up. We really appreciate that.
Smash, I got a hat for you, dude, next time I see you. My man, Smash Time in the chat. What's going on? I got a hat for you.
Someone said, taking notes about the merch. They tugged on the collars and snapped back to size. Check. Hey, we use like a really good quality shirt. Like, this is something, anything we make, it's like, it has to be something we would want to wear, or we would want to just like, and we wear our shit all over the place every day. I'm probably wearing a Third Pin shirt 5 out of 7 days of the week.
That's how I roll. Dude, I won't even think about it. I'll throw them on and sleep in them sometimes, and I try not to.
I've got a couple Third Pin vintage shirts that are starting, to like show, their character, because I've been wearing them for years.
You can't buy that.
Like,
I mean, you have to make that vintage look happen. You know what I mean?
Right. They're only going up in value now. We got a lot of people from all over the place. I see we got Houston, Texas in the house, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Georgia, San Antonio.
Oh, people are letting us know what they're drinking on.
I'm drinking coffee too, y'all. I saw some of y'all say coffee. I'm starting with coffee, but I'm going to be transitioning into a different department here in a little bit.
It's 2022, man. Transition all you want. I'll be drinking some Arizona tea, my favorite. Dude, I would do backstrokes in Arizona tea. I can't get enough of it. I was really hoping they would sponsor me as a competitive shooter, but I don't think they do that.
Hey, how many people do we have watching so far, Clay?
66 right now.
Ooh, almost to 69. We got to pump those numbers up. 3 more people. So, hey, Clay, maybe a little context here. We did a live stream, a week or 2 ago?
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. And I think a lot of it had to do with the feedback you were getting. A lot of people were saying that we should do more.
Yeah, it was our first one ever. And what was crazy is... I'm sure the holiday had a little bit to do with it, but we went live. It was the Sunday before Labor Day, and there was like 250 of you watching most of the time. I think we maintained just below 200. I had no clue that many people would tune in. And once it wrapped, we aired it on YouTube, and for the past 2 weeks, I've been getting quite a few DMs, Facebook messages, Instagram messages to please keep doing this and make it a regular thing. So here we are. It's going to be a regular thing. So thank you guys for that. I see Flood Munitions in the chat. Check out his YouTube channel. I really dig what he does.
I think it was a lot of fun. I think it was cool because we kind of went off topic a couple times and talked about like car stuff. And so kind of preparing myself mentally to do another one of these with you. I'm just looking forward to like kind of losing track of our roadmap for a little bit and having fun and getting to know the people who are watching, like, you know, kind of getting an idea of who these people are, you know, outside of just, you know, the gun content stuff, and get to know them on a more cerebral level, I guess you could say.
And apparently people do like to consume while they watch this live stream, so consume. It's Saturday night. We figured we'd go live on a Saturday in case some of you wanted to drink and stay up a little late. Not that we're going to be on all night, but at least you can sleep in a little bit tomorrow. I won't be. I have to wake up at 5 and go shoot a match. But at least you guys can.
One of the hardest working guys I've ever met, Clay. Like waking up at 5 in the morning on a Sunday to go drive, how many hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, about 3 hours.
To go shoot a match, which will take a couple hours, another 3 hours, and then turn around and drive 3 hours back home.
It's an easy Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for your business, David. Which sling did you get? Did you get the Alice or did you get the Vickers sling? They're both awesome. Right now, as of lately, I've always run the Vickers sling for years, but lately I've been running the Alice just to kind of feel it out. And I'm a really big fan of James over at Hub City, who makes those slings. I think they're pretty OG, so I've been rocking those lately, but both are fantastic slings.
Hey, if you are drinking, everyone take a drink. We went right past 69 viewers. That's very nice of you guys.
Yeah.
So
maybe
Tony,
one more question for the commenters.
Yeah, one more question, and then I have a video for the commenters and you, Tony. You may or may not have seen it yet.
Yeah, I just want to ask one more question. Thank you, everybody who's commenting and letting us know where you're from and what you're up to tonight. And I guess maybe one other question for those of y'all who tuned in last time. You kind of saw our format where we just kind of allowed ourselves to kind of just go with the flow. Outside of talking about AKs, talking about gun stuff, what would be a topic that you would be interested in us diving into and taking more comments on? Let us know. We'll take some notes. We might address them tonight, or we may write them down and go, hey, let's circle back on this on a future one.
So this guy knows all about our karaoke and roll nights. Have not done that one yet. Not yet, but I am taking requests.
That would be kind of fun to do, to maybe like if we ever like had a bet between you and I or Rachel, and one of y'all lost it, like we go to like a big time karaoke thing and you have to sing every song we pick for you.
KC Ghost, he likes the free form conversation. Let it all hang out, let it flow. Smash time with a super chat. $7.62.
Nice.
Well played, my man. Hey, someone's got to tip $5.45 next.
Hey, out of respect for the shirts, someone needs to tip $4.20. I think it would just be appropriate.
Thank you, Smash. Greatly appreciated. If you guys do want a super chat, that is greatly appreciated. Damn sure not a necessity. However, it does highlight your comment. It makes it stick out like a sore thumb. It's easy for us to find, and we will absolutely make time to answer that question. Or just shine some light on you. Tony, I had something for you here. I was hoping you might be able to comment on it.
Let's see what you got.
And the last one is, I came here to do two things. Hand out hard candy and blow some motherfucking dicks off. And I'm all out of hard candy.
I came here for two things. To suck some hard candy and suck some dicks. I came here to do two things, and what are they?
Hand out hard candy.
Oh, hand out hard candy.
And blow some fucking dicks
off.
And blow some motherfucking dicks off, cocksucker.
So, Tony, the point of that video, she's actually holding a Chi-Com AK, which I thought was kind of cool. Looks like a spiker, underfolder.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I saw the video probably about maybe a week and a half ago.
Yep.
And I saw it, and I saw her holding the AK, and I shared it to my story, and I just thought to myself, like you know those videos, there's these other ones too where these people are holding air guns and they're like doing the simulation and they're like throwing grenades and shit like that. I just think overall that is like a great concept for a video. And the fact that there's someone's babushka, or in this case, grandma, but I use the word babushka. Someone's babushka was in that video makes it 100 times better.
David with the 545 tip.
Thanks.
Awesome. That should be a common thing. Like $5.56, $2.23. Very nice. Thank you, David. That means a lot. Thank you, bro. Yeah, so if you all know, Jacob goes by Babushka Kid. If you haven't heard the story, we'll tell it again one of these days. But he texted me earlier. He's like, dude, I can't make the live stream. I was like, can Granny make it at least? He's like, yeah, probably. I gotta work, though. I'm like, dude, as long as Granny can watch. That's all I care about.
That's a great story. And I wonder, I mean, I guess it's not as easy to do on YouTube, but on Instagram, obviously, it's much easier to do the Wild Wild West format where we allow random strangers to go live with us.
Yeah, that is dangerous on YouTube. So we do that. If you guys follow us on Instagram, we used to do it all the time. Instagram allows you now you go live, and you can have a 4-way split screen you can have 4 channels go live at once. Well, what's cool is people in the comments can request to go live with you. When you accept, you have no clue what you're gonna get. You could either be putting your pee-pee in a hornet's nest or get like a really fun person to come on live.
Dude, the first time we did it, we call it the Wild Wild West. It's just where, like, we'll just allow random strangers to go live. And the first time we did it, like, there was like, dude, we were getting like kids like in Bangladesh, and they were like, oh shit! Like, the moment we let them go live with us, they weren't expecting it, or they were surprised by it, but they're like, I love you! You know, so.
I love the US and A. I'm a #1 fan.
Dude, that was probably one of the best live streams ever.
There'd be like 6 dudes all huddled around one phone, and they're like, oh, we're live.
they're all like, oh shit! Oh god.
Giovanni, yeah, man. Khyber's got some Yugo stuff. Yugo cheese graters, all kinds of cool stuff.
Safety selectors, and then there's stuff that's like triggers, slings. You know, they're like pretty much same geometry, whether it's AKM or Yugo for the most part.
Man, we got 9x39 tipped. That's creative. I didn't think about that one.
That's a good one.
All AKs need dongs. Bro, why haven't we made third pin merch with a donged AK yet? I was thinking about that the other day.
We could do that.
We have to do
just
that.
A dong. You know what I mean?
Just the dong.
And we'll do like one run and never do them again. Like, if you want a dong shirt, you have to get this one.
Dude, the outline should be the mag smacking into the dong. That's it. And then put that on a shirt.
It's so funny. I know this story has been told by other people, but, you know, 10, 12 years ago, like, nobody put dongs on their guns. Mm-hmm. And if you did, it was just kind of a joke, right? And that's why for so long there was like an abundance of like crusty Romanian dongs just laying around and no one wanting them. They were super cheap, you know, and it's just so funny to see it come full circle now to the point where, like, if you were to chop your dong into a shark fin, there's a lot of people who like take it very personal that you did that to a Romanian dong. It's pretty funny.
Matthew, thanks, dude. I'm glad you liked the video. Appreciate that, dude. So Tony, without moving too far ahead, I found a video that we made ages ago. This has got to be like circa 2017, maybe. You might not remember this. I tried to find the one that you showed last time, couldn't find it, but while I was digging through the archives, I found this and I was hoping I could share it with you.
Okay, let's see what you got.
This is back with the old crew that we used to shoot with a lot.
The OG.
Do you remember that?
We were young lads.
Oh, dude. That has to be like 2017. I tried to find the video where it's like 2 AK guys meet at a range. I can't find it anywhere.
I'll find it and send it to you. We'll watch it on the next one. But those were some good days, man. We probably ought to, you know what would be funny to do on this live stream? Would be to call people out of the blue and then put them on speakerphone and see what they say, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be cool to call Ian and be like, sucka, where you been, dude?
Dude, I miss Ian. I was just dude. So, but when we were getting ready for this live stream, we were going through Instagram archives, every story you've made since you made a channel. I was going back to like 2017, 2018, and I was finding a bunch of videos of Ian. Still to this day, dude, probably one of the funniest guys that we ever used to shoot with. Just naturally funny.
Yeah.
But he became super dad, man. He's all about dad life. And it's hard to get him out of the house to go shoot anymore. But, man, I would love to get that guy on camera again one day. He's actually on a couple YouTube videos. We have like a suppressed Mosin, suppressed Nagant pistol video that's really old. That's Ian in that video. So if you guys look up suppressed Russian Nagant pistol, you'll see Ian.
Yeah, he was like he just was a funny guy. Super funny guy.
Oh, somebody said you should call Tufu.
You should. Yeah, I wonder what he's doing too. He should be at Kalash Bash, right?
I don't know. I would assume so. I don't know who he would come out with unless he would just come out on his own. Because, he's working for Fuller Phoenix. I don't believe it's in the cards for Jim to come out this year. So without Jim coming out, I don't know if that means Tufu can or can't come out. I can ask him. It's almost not the same without him. It's like almost tradition to go calm him down at the campsite so he starts riling everybody up.
Yeah, I know. Or just go tell him to cool it down and he's going to elevate it to another level.
Yes.
I'm going to have a picture for you here in a moment.
Let me see here. Flood munitions. So this is interesting. He just watched the, so we uploaded a Scorpion video today, and here's what's very mind-boggling, okay? The YouTube page had like its best month last month. I mean, it gained a ton of subscribers. The content was through the roof. As far as my tiny little channel, for a video to get over 10,000 views is pretty good. And
right.
We were doing better than that last month, so I was like, dang, man, I guess people are really enjoying it. So I go all out, balls out on a Scorpion video. The ammo is like $120 a round, if you can find it. And we get this whole video filmed. And for me, in my 30s, 007 GoldenEye is still pop culture. I grew up on it. But it seems like either the algorithm smacked me right on the tip of the PP, or people are just not into Scorpions. It is like the worst video view-wise for the past 6 months. Completely threw me for a loop. But the people that did watch it seemed to enjoy it. I enjoyed making it.
Hey, someone has a question about Kalash Bash. It's from the Boogalorian. Thank you for your question. The question is, what are y'all looking forward to the most about this year's Kalash Bash?
You go first.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like on a personal level, and I feel like you and I have gotten really good at this. And so I think what I'm most looking forward to is just things being like tight. It's like where our preparation is on point. We have a vision, we have a game plan, we have a good team. I think, after years of just like the hard, like things being chaotic and like just, it's like it's all work, no fun, right? During these times. I'm looking forward to things running so smooth that like you and I will have an opportunity to kind of stop and smell the roses over the weekend and really just kind of like go partake, with the people in it, not being 100 miles an hour, putting out fires or, just like addressing, things that need to get done during the event, just to like stop and hang out and have a conversation, with people over the weekend would be great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so you're more so looking forward to maybe we don't have to work physically so hard while we're there. We can like kind of bask in it and enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm most looking forward to having a golf cart and taking it off some sweet jumps. I rented a golf cart for Kalash Bash. That's what I'm most excited about.
That's funny. I think we might want to consider upgrading to the mules after what freaking Matt was doing with us in his thing today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think we need to go ahead and address the controversy. I've got a picture that I think we just need to kind of pull up, Clay. I hate to blindside you here, but I think we need to pull this picture up, and maybe there's just some explanation that you can offer, to the rest of us that are really concerned, need some clarification. Is that okay?
Yeah, totally.
I got my share screen ready when you are.
Is it under Tony's Boner Jams? Okay. I see the Third Pin website on it right now.
All right, pull it up.
All right, here we go. Hey, we were just talking about Ian.
Yeah.
This this is a drill, a shooting drill that you have to. You only have 4.20 seconds to shoot this drill. Dude,
And instead of a timer, it's a Tommy Chong Bong? I just don't understand.
no, they make those.
You gotta shoot the stage and then rip the bong and then you're done.
It's like hot ones. Instead of a hot wing, you rip a bong. Yeah. I don't want to comment too much on that. You know what's so funny? I don't remember what I was holding in that picture. I think I'm holding a camera filming Ian. And then you texted me this like the day after. He's like, Clay, you want to walk me through this picture really quick?
Dude. Back then, during that time, I would come home after a range trip taking pictures, and I'd find like these perfect like gold pictures for like photoshopping, and I'd be like, oh, dude. And I would just go in there and I'd Photoshop stupid stuff in y'all's hands. I think I Photoshopped a dildo into your hand on this one too. I got a picture of Ian eating a hot dog, and I Photoshopped the hot dog out too. I'll have to find that one. That one would be a really good one.
Thanks, Jerry, dude. Jerry's the guy that let us borrow the AR-74. He's the mad scientist. What's up, Jerry?
I got one more image.
All right, hit me with it.
Well, actually, I'll hold on to this one because I think one of the topics that we wanted to talk about is what it was like when you first got into guns and you're like really into all the FUD stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something we can all relate to because we're all kind of on a different level of gun hobby, gun enthusiast. And what that looked like, the first month of being into guns and where we're at today, obviously are much different stuff. But for sure, like first getting into guns, if I look back at what that was like, it was very cringy. I was really into cringy stuff.
I don't know. I'd have to think. I wouldn't say my gun taste got cringy until I started to like get into ARs and building them, slapping uppers on lowers. I was that guy putting red Strike Industries stuff all over my AR. I totally fell for it, dude. Super cringe. When I was young, though, it was all cool. Like, I was fortunate to have a dad that was into cool stuff. So the only thing I had around me was cool stuff. It was when I was left to my own devices when I got older and got money. Dude, I had a Wasser 10 that I butchered. I'm talking, I don't know what I put on it. It was like a free-floated rail. I had a Texas Weapons Systems dog leg on it. Some terrible Amazon muzzle device that totally stripped the threads when I pulled it back off. Like anything Bubba, Tapco stock that had that crazy angle that pointed at the floor. All the dumb stuff, dude, just totally blacked it out. And at the time, I thought it was the coolest looking AK ever. Like, I didn't appreciate wood on an AK back then. So I don't know, man. I guess for me, that's when it got the cringiest. When I couldn't not tactical out an AK when I really, really first got into them. I didn't know what to do. I thought everyone took the wood off their AKs. I'm like fresh out of high school at that time, and there's not much available. And I did it, man.
So when I first got into guns, I had like a friend he was like my influence, into it. And he was like one of those guys that's like, the only thing you need is a Glock. And so I got a Glock and I wanted 40, I was like, I want 40 Smith & Wesson. I need that little extra, 9mm for pussies. I'm going to shoot a 40 Smith & Wesson. And I got a Glock 23 and I had like that long magazine sticking out of it. And I just remember like anytime someone was trying to tell me about their SIG or their HK, I was always like poo-pooing on them like, guys, I don't want to hear it. I'm a Glock guy. I only shoot Glock. It's the only thing I'll ever shoot. That was me when I first got into guns. I thought I knew a lot and I knew very little. I knew not much.
Isn't that funny? I think we all went through that phase where we tried to be like know-it-alls. when we didn't like at the worst time of our knowledge, we didn't know what we didn't know yet, which is dangerous. We were those dudes asking all the stupid questions and trying to correct people online. Yeah, totally been there.
I just shared a picture if you want to share it, but this was the very first gun I owned, and probably the very first gun picture that I ever shared to the interwebs.
Dude, were you like about to drop your first album or what?
Dude. This was the Glock 23 RTF. You could see the serrations on the slide. It was pretty special, dude.
Yeah, I remember those things. Hey,
That
real
gun
quick,
was-
this guy brings up a really funny point, and thank you for the super chat, Super Geo Killer. He said if you bring 007 and an N64, he'll bring the setup. Bro, how many times did we were so close one year. We were going to bring out an inflatable screen with a projector, and we were going to have 007 GoldenEye on a massive screen at the campsite late at night. So many moving parts to it. We were this close. It's still a brilliant idea, but like I say, moving parts, it was so hard to pull together, finding like a reliable company to bring the setup out there and run it. But yeah, way ahead of you, dude. It still is a brilliant idea.
The reason why it never evolved, so we went and we got quotes. Like, we were ready to do it. We were even telling people, yo, like, bring your golden gun to Kalash Bash. But, like, the resolution out of an N64 is so shitty that when you blow it up on a giant screen, all you're seeing is just blur. Like, you're not seeing it, you know. That being said, I would not be surprised if in the very near future that like very high resolution versions of these N64 games come out. And if that happens, we will literally only do an event with multiple screens, and we'll literally do an N64 GoldenEye tournament. And then during the day, shoot guns. Okay. That would be cool as shit.
Yeah, just like we would pull out the N64 at Tony's house. I don't know. So some of you still have a Nintendo 64. Remember, we all grew up playing that on a tube TV, right? Play any N64 game on a modern day large flat screen. It looks terrible. It's so blown out and pixely because it was never meant to be that big. And 007 looked really bad at Tony's house on a big... That was even with like an HDMI converter. It doesn't look too good.
It just doesn't hit the same on a big screen, unfortunately. But you know what? You can set up GoldenEye. Like if you just brought like let's say like a 48, 50-inch screen in your tent, you'll have the coolest fucking tent at the campground, dude.
Sure.
There'll be a line coming out of your tent, right, for a 4-player bracket tournament. That would be cool.
Flood Munitions. My first gun was a Norinco 1897 trench gun slam fire. I want one of those so bad. Collector's Firearms had one for a while. I think it was an actual Winchester. Dude, they wanted an unreal amount of money for it. But those things are so cool. They've got the heat shield that runs all the way down the barrel. A bayonet that looks like a freaking sword. Super, super sick.
So, on the topic of like first guns, so my first AK almost steered me away from ever owning an AK, and by extension, I never would have dove into the hobby to the degree that I eventually started a business. And it was my brother-in-law came to our family reunion, and he had a Wasser, and we took it out into a rock quarry and we were shooting it. And I was thinking, oh, dude, this bad guy gun, this is so pimp. I gotta have one of these. So like a couple weeks later, I decided I wanted a Polish underfolder. Like all the shit that I saw out there, the underfolders really like attracted my attention. And there were 2 available for me to purchase. And one of them was like a Polish underfolder with the original Polish barrel, super clean gun. And then there was one that was built without the original barrel, a US barrel. And I was talking to a guy. I was like, is it really worth the extra $30 for the original barrel? And the guy goes, no way. The original barrels are garbage. You want the one with the US barrel. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
And I ended up buying that thing. It could never hit paper. Even at 20 yards, it wasn't hitting paper. And I found out after the fact that the barrel was bent on it. And I was like, this gun sucks, dude. In fact, the first time I took that gun to the range, the top cover didn't seat properly on it, and I did everything I could to install it right. But the first time I took that gun to the range, I went and I'm standing up, and there's all these fucking people standing around. And the first round, the top cover goes flying off, and I thought the gun blew up. And I'm sure everyone around me thought the gun blew up because it was like, people were like, ah! You know. But after that experience, I was like, fuck this. I'm out of guns. I'm over it. Or not guns, but out of AKs. Like, this is not for me. You know, this is bullshit. I got rid of the gun, and I don't know, man. Like, maybe a couple months later, somehow got talked back into buying an Arsenal 107, and I did, and that kind of rejuvenated the AK experience for me.
The Arsenal 107 is what definitely got me hardcore into AKs. I think it's the first time I was ever exposed to a super, I guess at the time, high quality AK, something collectible. Mm-hmm. I remember my uncle gave me a 308 Vepr Sporter config when I was in high school. You know, so this thing's got wood all over it. Like, it didn't even look like an AK. Back then, I never even knew it was an AK. I just thought it was like this weird Russian hunting gun. I didn't know anything about AKs back then. You gotta remember, I'm like 14, 15 at the time. And it wasn't until my dad bought a Wasser at a pawn shop for like $300 that still had, this was Wasser 10, so Century had all the laminate wood on it. It came with the bayonet, the sling, the oil bottle. I was like, oh, this is the AK I've seen on TV. Like, this is what I think of when I see AK. And then I started to go, damn, like, I've got this thing called a Vepr that's been in my closet for a couple of years. That's kind of like I had no clue. I didn't know what a sporterized gun was. And bro, I ended up selling that Vepr 308 for like nothing and keeping the Wasser. To me, the Wasser was like the shit because it was fully carbine config, took regular mags, and got rid of the Vepr, and still to this day regret it. I think I might have sold it for like $600 back then. It was super freaking minty.
What was the first gun tuber that you were just kind of, pretty loyal to, that you were watching their content?
So I knew you were going to ask me this.
Besides FPS Russia, I think we all watched FPS Russia.
Mine actually was not FPS Russia. At work, they would let us leave work and go buy food. So I'd go to this local diner, and I would always get food to go, and I'd come back, and I would eat lunch at one of the desks that had a computer, and I would watch YouTube while I ate, and then I'd go back to work. It's almost embarrassing to say this, but I guess at the time, I thought it was awesome. I used to watch Klayco47 religiously. Dude, I used to bring my friends to the computer. I was like, y'all ain't never seen an old dude shoot as good as this old dude shoots.
He can shoot a Glock 27 300 yards and hit a gong. That's why I own a Glock. That was
yes. Bro, Klayco47 for me used to slap back in the day. That's what the kids say, right? It slaps. Dude, back then, and an even worse one, it was Klayco47 and Nuttin' Fancy. I would sit and watch his hour-long videos of him running around in the desert. Yeah, I already see it in the comments. Nuttin' Fancy and Klayco47. Those are the two I'm kind of like... Today, I haven't watched a Klayco47 video in several years at this point. It just doesn't do it for me. Back then, it did. Nuttin' Fancy, they just got to a point where I was like, I don't know, man. Doesn't do it for me anymore at all. I don't think I even subscribe to Nuttin' Fancy anymore. Nothing against the guy personally. It is just not for me. Not anymore. Sorry if I see some of you like that stuff. I apologize, man.
I mean, I watched it, and I don't think that you stop watching a channel because something happened and your feelings have changed, but you just began dating other channels. Maybe is a good way to put it.
Yeah, I talk to Rachel about this all the time. YouTube channels in general. Think of a YouTube channel that used to just everyone talked about it. Like when I think about that, I think like Epic Mealtime.
Yeah,
At
I
one
was just
time,
gonna say that.
Everybody and their freaking mother watched Epic Mealtime, and this is like 2008, 2009. Like those dudes were growing faster than any other channel on YouTube. They've got like 7 million followers, subscribers. Now, bro, they might break 30,000 views on a video now, and they've got 7 million subscriptions. It just goes to show that you totally grow out of YouTube channels. You don't watch the same stuff forever. Certainly not the same channels forever. Even with these channels that have these just a Rolodex of 7 million subscribers, they can barely break past 30,000 views. eventually, dude, people grow out of it. I grew out of Hickok45. I grew out of Nothing Fancy years ago. Grew out of a lot of gun channels, dude. I barely watch. I don't really watch Military Arms Channel anymore. I respect the guy. I don't really watch it anymore. And I don't watch IV88 too much anymore. I just don't watch it that much
anymore.
anymore.
That I watched, but it was a very small amount of time that I was into that stuff, and then I moved on from that.
I will say some of the greatest gun content ever made were the IV88 meltdown videos. That is, you could watch that any day of the week. People love to see stuff come apart. But just like your clear cut, this is a gun, you read it in the title, here's your review. Those don't really do much for me anymore.
Yeah, that's probably another good point too, to see that like initially, you know, YouTube was like, it was really, really popular to just basically do product reviews.
Yep.
You know, and to see now that what YouTube has evolved into, not saying that they didn't do this back then either, but now people are creating content that ultimately could almost be sold as a TV show. It's like they have a series, they've got like high production edits, there's like a lot of scripting type stuff coming on, and people are like, it's not just product reviews, you know, it's like they're making content that's entertainment, I guess.
Yeah.
Best way to put it.
Yeah, I don't know. So who are you watching these days? Maybe that's a good transition. Gun content, like maybe not religiously, but who have you come across recently? It can be a tiny little channel where you're just like, this guy right here, man, I can get down with that.
I can tell you who I'm subscribed to right now, and I see notifications in my feed. Grand Thumb for sure. Klayco47. I like watching Mark Novak.
I see his name pop up in the comments.
Yeah, I mean his stuff, like I could just put that on while I'm working on other stuff, and it's like really cool, just like background content. I like watching his channel a lot.
I never grew out of Pole and Art Tactical. I still love their videos. So their personalities are just so easy to like. Whenever Oxide graces us with a video, I watch it. I really appreciate the Oxide channel. And dude, I could probably name a dozen channels that have below 10,000 views that I love. And dude, my main squeeze, every video, and I'm talking, sometimes he'll have 300 views, is my boy Misha Co. I can sit and watch that dude finger an AK for an hour and tell me about every nook and cranny on it. I'll go to sleep watching Misha Co videos. It's like ASMR to me. Love Misha.
For sure. And of course, we talked about this on the last stream too, but probably worth maybe like venturing just briefly into it again. But what are some of the other YouTube channels that you enjoy watching that maybe are outside of gun tubers or gun content?
Ooh, okay, without naming some of the same ones.
Oh, dude, someone mentioned Cokeman2423 in the comments. You remember watching him?
That doesn't ring a bell unless I've seen his videos and I don't remember his name.
Oh, dude, we'll have to pull up a Cokeman video next time, but I'm sure you've seen his videos, dude. Dude had a crank that he'd be bump firing out in the woods. Stupid shit.
Risky Krisky, man. I found his channel. He's been blowing up lately. I found his channel several months ago. Pretty spicy stuff, but good stuff. Okay, non-gun content related. Man. Oh, dude, we just talked about this. There's a channel. God, I'm gonna totally brain fart on the name. Kirby Allison. He's out of Dallas. He owns like he sells products. If you own suits, leather shoes, like if you're like a well-dressed man, you need products to keep all your stuff nice. He sells products for like the well-dressed man. He has been going to England, and he's been filming a lot of high-end cigar lounges and really high-dollar cigar collections. Dude, I don't know what it is.
Clay's getting into cigars, y'all. Give him some advice. For those of y'all that are into cigars, point Clay in the right direction. I think he's ready to class it up a little bit. So
so he's been doing filming, and even the lounge has made their own channel. It's called Davidoff's. It was a Cuban cigar manufacturer that is no longer in Cuba. I believe they're in the Dominican Republic now. Correct me if I'm wrong. But bro, it's a couple of these guys. They're the Sahakians. David Sahakian and his brother, It's Edward Zahakian and Eddie Zahakian. They own this thing, and they're like well-dressed, silver flowing locks of hair. They have that voice that just it puts you to sleep. And I will watch these dudes like slowly take you in to the humidor, ask you what pleases your palate. Leather, cocoa, maybe a bit of spice.
I can see you
pick
being
a
like,
few.
pass me a fat blunt.
Yeah. Yo, which one can I put my weed in? It's just, dude, I don't know what it
You
is.
got any Black and Milds?
Yeah. It's so funny watching these guys pamper these people that walk in the shop, and they'll bring them a glass of brandy. They'll give them a plate with like 6 different really expensive cigars to choose from, and there's like a process of snipping it and lighting it the proper English way, like the gentleman's way. And dude, I have been eating that shit up lately. It makes me want to like appreciate a fine cigar and like drink a nice cup of like homebrewed coffee with it. I don't know, man. I've been wanting to get into that.
The last couple times I've like been invited to smoke cigars, I end up inhaling them so much, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I keep actually inhaling. But I could see the attraction to the cigar thing, especially if you're an AK person, because there's so much like collectability. You know, you can go down. You can never have it all with AK stuff. You can collect magazines, you can collect parts, all the different variants, all the type of stuff. And I can see how something like cigars, where it's like, oh, let me talk to you about my, Cuban, like my box of Cubans or whatever, right? I used to live in Miami, so these guys would be smuggling in Cohibas and all kinds of stupid shit all the time, And down there, it's like smoking a cigar and drinking a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label was like status. You're there.
Yeah, it's just another thing. Like, you and I could sit here and talk about, dude, do you remember your first AK? Like, where did it come from? What type of furniture did you have on it? Like, do you remember the first time you took it out and shot it? Like, these guys were having the same conversations about cigars. They were like, do you remember your first Cuban? Do you remember what year it was made? Like, what were you doing when you smoked it? Like, was it a special occasion? They break it down just like we do. Like, I remember what the air smelled like in the parking lot of the Best Buy where I bought my favorite AK from a dude out of the trunk of his car. Like, the whole thing of collecting nice AKs and all the accessories, telling the story of, oh, I found this beautiful Polish wood set when I went to Knob Creek. It was a hand select. It was a lot of money, but it was worth it. These guys are getting just as detailed with talking about their cigar collections, and they're enjoying a cigar while they talk about it. I don't know. Something about it was so appealing to me that I think I'm going to try it. I want to get me some Davidoffs and smoke them up.
Well, congratulations on that. And I know if I need to get you a gift for something, I know what to get you. Some old crusty cigar I find on eBay with a really good story.
Dude, I could just see you get me some Swisher Sweets. You said cigars, right?
That's funny. Well, so we have some topics. Do you want to dive into any of the kind of out there topics that we talked about?
Before that, I'd like to show you a video. And maybe that would be a good transition.
Okay.
So, Tony, you and I were talking about this a little while ago, that every now and then you get some haters doing this kind of stuff. Mean comments, some DMs telling you to, eat my tits, some mean stuff, right? So,
you mother bitch.
I found a way that I did, honestly, the video that this gentleman made to handle his haters is how we should handle our haters, dude. If I received a video from a guy that I was talking trash to, I would never speak to this man again. So I got something for you.
Let's go.
Well, good morning. What is that? Oh, it's a hater. Wow, you guys, you little pussies. All right, my kings and queens above 18. This is your king giving you a wake-up call. Time to get up and put your feet on the ground and take off running. To my haters, get off my page. Leave, Karen. This ain't for you. Put your feet on the ground and take off running, my queens and kings above 18. Come on. Get down and get you some breakfast and get you a good night shower and enjoy the day. All right, the king will talk to you guys later. Now, if you need any merchandise for
Oh, then he tries to sell you some merch.
Was he about to drop
Oh,
There's some
dude.
like really cringy, weird stuff on TikTok. You know what we should do? We should both create TikToks and then, but not leverage like I'm Klayco47, right? Like make up a whole new name, become like right, and then let's see who can get the most followers posting the most ridiculous, stupid shit.
Okay, hold on. So I kind of did that today, and I liked a few TikToks that I thought you might like.
So you have a secret TikTok channel now?
Well, I don't do anything on it. I just use it to find some pretty messed up stuff. Let me know what you think about this, Tony.
Good morning, my name is Pavel. What is more important than being healthy? It costs too much to be sick and old. I'm 60, excellent health, full of energy because I use my unique physical and mental fitness program called Get Energized.
Dude, I love the shirt, dude.
He just goes, I am healthy.
For some reason, that shirt reminds me of when we were in Vegas.
So I got one more for you. When's the last time you went to a concert?
I don't know, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago.
Okay, what do you think about this? If you want to know more about this band, I think they go by the name Bath Salts.
That looks like fun.
I don't know how you get tickets to something like that, but I thought you might like that.
Do I have a guitar? And I'll have a digital drum set here in like maybe the next 30 days. So if you want to start a new band, we can do it. That's what you're trying to let me know.
Trooncore, is that what that's called? Trooncore? I don't know. I don't want to get the wrong pronouns.
We've probably been missing some good comments here.
Oh my gosh.
Clay needs a boomer TikTok channel, always wearing the New Balances and shit.
Yeah.
I do think it would be cool to like post it out, just like dress up like a boomer and let's all go get dinner and see how many people show up to Applebee's. Like legitimately, how many people will show up all dressed the same way, and we can all just get like the big bar, you know?
Bro, imagine getting like 20 people in on it and someone filming while we're all in line sliding our trays down at a Luby's. Just like kind of picking shit. All right, so you had a topic you wanted to roll to real quick. Let's keep her moving.
Well, I
Oh,
think
it is called Trooncore. Interesting.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people who are probably followers or watch. And I know one of the questions that you get a lot, I get it to a degree, but one of the questions you probably get a lot are people asking for advice on how to get started, whether it be creating a YouTube channel for gun content or just in general, like investing time in trying to grow social media. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions, interview style? And for those of y'all watching, if there's a particular question that you'd like for me to ask Clay, this is not like the generic question that everybody, let me tell you how I was successful. No, like, why don't we dive into some behind the scenes, like some shit that you may not know about Clay or things that you may not really think about when it comes to growing, starting, maintaining, you know, creating a vision for a gun YouTube channel. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So, how long have you been doing this? Like, from the day that you decided, I'm gonna start posting regularly on YouTube. How long has it been?
maybe like seriously taking it super serious, I would say 2 years. Before that, it was just random stuff, no structure. But 2 years ago, I really started taking it seriously, I would say.
So it's been about 2 years since you've been like, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to commit to it. And at that time, did you set like a time-bound goal? Did you say, I'm going to move forward for the next year, 2 years, not look back, and then look at that time, I'm going to assess where I'm at? Like, did you set any time-bound goals at that time?
No, not like for like subscriber-wise. I didn't really think if I give this thing a year and I'm not at 100K, I'm giving up. It wasn't anything like that. I had always just been told, we had been around like Brandon Herrera so much and some of these other guys, and we would ask them like, bro, if you could give anyone like that one pointer, and most of the time it was them saying, be consistent. Like, pick a day of the week, commit to posting on that day every other week or every week or whatever. Just be consistent. Add some structure to when and where you post. So I think it was 2 years ago I started really trying to edit the videos seriously. I think I just started upgrading, getting off the cell phones, trying to move over to some better cameras. But it wasn't until I said, you know what? I'm going to at least try to post like a couple videos a month, no matter what. And when I did that, I started to see growth. And then it wasn't until I really said, okay, look, I'm going to post one video a week, no matter what it takes, on the same day. I'm just going to pick a time, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. I'm going to try to post every single week. That was when I like really buckled down and made it super hard on myself, because to maintain one video a week, it might not seem like it, but it is a daunting task. But that's when I really started to see, even though the channel is still small, that's when I saw growth. Was when people started to see the pattern every Saturday. And I wouldn't post 2 videos a week. I wouldn't post 1 video every 2 weeks. I wouldn't go over or under what I told myself I was going to do, 1 a week. And
okay.
it was enough to not burn myself out, but it wasn't too little to where I felt like I wasn't doing enough. So that's what I did.
All right, let me ask you this. Can you right now, is it in the vicinity, can you show me the one piece of hardware, like the most useful, like you couldn't do what you do without this one piece of hardware? Show me the most valuable piece of hardware that you have, that you use to create your YouTube or your Instagram gun content.
A freaking phone.
Show me.
Not just for filming. This right here.
So a smartphone.
Yep.
Now show me the most valuable and useful piece of software that you use. What is it?
Oh.
Show us on the screen.
Got it right here. So the app that I've been using to make my life a little easier, it's called InShot.
This is probably one of the coolest or most important probably questions I'm going to ask Clay here, because it's something that he taught me. And when it came to like filming a video, like going out to the range and being like, hey, we're going to film some shit and then we're going to edit it into an actual video. There's a lot of programs you can do like on your computer, but Clay, up to this point, I would argue that at least 90%, if not 95% of the content that you've posted to social media to date, you've used that app on your phone.
I use an app that has the ability to render in 4K, and the amount of editing that it lets you do for, I think I pay for like $10 a month or whatever it is. The InShot used to be a terrible app a couple years ago, and they've constantly been updating it, adding to it, and then they started charging for it, and then it got to be a very quality, like people are begging them to make a desktop version of this app because it's so good. That is my strongest piece of kit right there. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, like, why would you do everything? Why wouldn't you just do it on your computer? The necessity of being able to edit anywhere I am. I could be taking a dump and I can work on a video. I get stuck in hotel rooms constantly for my day job. It gets to be a little impractical to think, well, as soon as I'm in front of my laptop or as soon as I'm in front of my desktop, I'm going to bang out this video. One video will take you 6 to 10 hours of just editing here, editing there. Being able to do it anytime I have a free minute. If we go to the range and I'm there and I want to get something quick, like a little 60-second clip, bust out the phone, get comfortable, make a quick little 4K video, upload it. You can upload to YouTube from your phone. You can tag YouTube videos from your phone. You can add the descriptions, your links. You can basically do anything. So it's allowed me to stay very mobile.
Yeah, and I use the same app. And Clay showed me this app. And I would say if there was, for anyone who's like, you know, to not focus on subscribers, followers, the most important thing is to learn how to use tools, to find answers, to seek answers. And, you know, for Clay, it was like, well, I'm not going to go out and spend money on a fancy camera when my phone can film, right? But if all the files, if everything I'm filming is right here in my phone, then why not try to edit everything from there instead of having to export it into a computer? So he's basically eliminated all these additional unnecessary redundant steps. And this is what the app looks like. I don't know if you can see it on my camera. I guess not really, but
and
wish you could.
You could do this on a tablet if you wanted a bigger screen to mess with. Totally possible.
The app is called InShot, and there's a free version of it. I pay for my version of it just because there's additional features that we like to use. But the free version of InShot, you can do everything. And I can tell you this, like if you're at home with your family, or you're taking your dog out for a walk, go film some video footage and start messing around with that app, and you'd be surprised how easy it is to cut your clips down. You know, generally what you do is you're filming a minute-long clip, but you're really only going to end up using maybe 20 seconds of it. And so, you know, our workflow, Clay, your workflow is probably very similar to mine, but I basically pull all the clips that I just recorded, and I go one by one, and I start cutting them down to the useful parts, right? I cut all the fluff out, and then all I'm left with are the clips, like the meat of the clips, and then you just rearrange them, add some music, and it's so freaking easy.
It is. And I would say if I was home more, if honestly, like I say, it's totally like a necessity thing that allows me to live my normal life, work my normal day job, and do all. I'm constantly traveling. I'm on the road all the time. I'm never in front of my big computer much. I've got the big badass computer that was built for video editing. I just never get to use it. I'm never home enough. I've done some of my best editing laying on a hotel bed on my phone, stuck out of town, working my day job with nothing better to do. Or, this is going to sound funny, I'll be like 10 minutes into a really good Duke, and I'll have like that light bulb, but I'm like, that's how I need to edit that video, and I'll get it started. I'll get like 2 minutes into it, save the draft, and then I can come back to it later. I think a lot of people are hip to InShot. I think they know all about it. And I've seen a couple people, there's 2 points in the comments I wanted to bring up. Number one, people are bringing up Adobe and Premiere Pro. Absolutely, those are highly powerful video editing softwares. However, you know, in my case, I'm sure, you know, I don't know if this is true for Tony, that holds you to your desk, it holds you to a desktop computer. Turn that down a little bit. That holds you to, you have to sit in a spot at a desk and make it happen. If I had more time, I would most definitely dedicate, because the quality that those put out, it's an app on your phone just can't do it. But the app on your phone that renders in 4K can get pretty darn close. It's just crazy. And moreover, some of these phones, I just saw Tony's S22 today. Some of these phones are like surpassing point and shoot quality. It's unbelievable. Right. Some of the new iPhones today, I still recommend using a camera, but some of the new iPhones today are ridiculously good. And then iPhone alone comes with like iMovie or whatever, and that's some pretty good software.
Yeah, I just got the S22 Ultra. I saw someone comment about that too, and it is insane. And here's the best part: 512 gigabytes. My last phone, after a year, I was having to constantly go in and clear out, you know, a lot of the internal storage and the internal SD card or the removable SD card. I was constantly having to like free up room, and it was just kind of like driving me crazy. I think with the 512 gigabytes, as long as I stay on top of it, I don't think that I'm like going to ever come anywhere in danger of running out of storage, especially when we're talking about cutting these 4K and 1080p, you know, videos, you know, together and storing them in your phone to post. But it's been really, this phone's been pretty awesome so far. Highly recommend it. But I think that was a great question, a great answer. That, like, to be able to run and gun, because look, dude, we have expensive cameras. You know, we've got DSLRs, we've got a couple Sony cameras here. The other thing that Clay and I have learned in this process is, for Instagram, for example, It's like, your strategy for Instagram is to be posting constantly and posting stuff. And so to go take a nice camera out, spend hours filming and an hour or two editing, and then this happens. It happens to Clay and I all the time. We get super excited about a piece of content. We're like, oh, dude, this video is going to be hilarious. People are going to love it. And it could just be bad timing, and that video posts, and it completely shits the bed. And you're like, God damn it, I spent hours on that piece of content. And then it's the piece of content that you're like, hey, say hi. And it gets 100,000 views. And you're like, what the heck? The video I spent no time putting together. So there's like,
that's the
sometimes
constant
it can be
struggle.
like very humbling, that experience. So to have a phone and a quick way to edit is going to allow you to be able to essentially create more of this like run and gun content and be able just to post on the fly, very quickly, which is super important.
Yes. I saw someone leave a comment earlier. We were talking about, what does it take to make a YouTube channel from nothing? And I'm certainly not the authority here at all. So someone said, well, easy for you to say you had a big Instagram before you started that. And that is true. The Instagram had my full attention for years before I ever really started doing anything on YouTube. Instagram started off as a hobby. I would take pictures of AKs, I would go shoot matches, I would film funny stuff. We caught some algorithm and we grew freaking fast back in the day. This was before like the gunpocalypse on Instagram, and they cut all those content makers from growing. Anything gun related doesn't grow on Instagram anymore. But the point I want to make is, I think people would say, oh, well, you just moved your audience over. Honestly, I'll give you an example. We were asking Brandon about this. Because, Brandon, his number one priority was YouTube. Everything else, hey, I'll give you a 10-second taste of the YouTube video I want you to go watch. I think Brandon's YouTube channel blew up before he ever even had an Instagram page. And he would tell us, dude, Instagram's great, but honestly, the way it's really going to work is all of your YouTube subscribers, when they find out you have an Instagram, they'll go follow you. It doesn't really go back the other way that much. We have, in the grand scheme of things, as far as just a dude with a gun page, we have one of the largest, certainly one of the largest AK Instagrams in the world on Instagram, but it doesn't mean anything when it comes to YouTube. It might bring a few people over here and there, but it's not like you think. Honestly, the Instagram gets more people following it because of the YouTube channel. So there's an algorithm that you can see on YouTube. It'll tell you how people found your video. What'd they click on? Did they search it? Did they Google it? Did they find a link on Instagram? So anytime we make a video on YouTube, I'll post up a link on Instagram. I'm like, hey, go watch the video. It's like maybe 2% of the views that will watch a YouTube video came from Instagram. 98% of them either Google searched it, or they put it in the search bar, or they browsed it on YouTube. So you're talking 2% of overall subscription and views were funneled through Instagram. It's really not that much.
Yeah, YouTube is a higher quality subscriber than Instagram too. Did you already share this part? Or we talked about like the average Instagram account follows hundreds of channels. The average YouTube account subscribes to like 10.
Post in the comments, if you guys could come up with a number, how many YouTubes do you think you actually subscribe to? If you have Instagram, how many Instagram channels do you think you follow?
Yeah, that's a good question. For those of y'all who are on Instagram and YouTube, very quickly, just take a quick look and you can kind of guesstimate, roundabout numbers. But how many pages do you follow on Instagram, and how many YouTube channels are you subscribed to on your accounts? If you could, just for the sake of helping us prove our
Aaron
points.
Goodman, 40 YouTube channels. Bro, the average person follows hundreds of Instagram pages.
If not thousands. I've seen people out there that are following thousands, right?
So me personally, I might be subbed to like 200 YouTube channels. I've just been on YouTube since like 2006, just like lurking. However, the majority of people, if YouTube was pooping in one hand and Instagram was pooping in the other, dude, not even, it would tip the scale almost instantly.
Yeah.
YouTube is like basically, it's TikTok. You're swiping, you're clicking like. That was cool. Follow. You might not ever see that channel again. That channel might post once a year. You saw one post, instantly follow it.
Right.
It seems like on YouTube channels, it's almost like you really have to earn that person to subscribe to your channel. It's a higher quality of subscription base. It really is. It's very difficult to get that person to commit to click that sub button on YouTube.
Yeah. I see a lot of people who are watching and are here that don't Instagram, and that was something that Clay and I learned the last live stream. It's like, spending time here on YouTube is so valuable because there's a lot of people that we spend a lot of time on Instagram and Facebook just because it's run and gun content. It's very quick. I own a website, khybercustoms.com. We sell stuff. I would say easily 60 to 70%. I would say 60%. When we're running a promotion, 60% of our web traffic comes from Instagram. It's such a powerful tool to drive traffic, to our website. But that being said, we acknowledge YouTube for being just a completely different monster. And we're seeing this like here in the comments now. So many people who spend their time on YouTube, but they're not on Instagram, or they don't really spend time on Instagram anymore. I think that this is a very valuable place for us to spend our time, Clay.
Yeah, and like I went from before Instagram stopped gun channels from growing. What I mean by that is, I know a lot of you don't use it. I'll walk you through it. Instagram, basically, it's a few different tabs. There's a search bar that shows you all the stuff Instagram thinks you might be into, random channels. It's just, you just scroll and scroll. You have a tab that will show you who you are following, just like that core group of people that you're following, and that's about it. So the search bar is how the majority of people spend their time on Instagram, looking for random stuff. They'll click on a cool gun, a cool car, they'll follow that channel. I think it was about 2019, maybe early 2020. Anything gun-related, paintball, airsoft, knife, sword, any kind of weapon-related stuff on Instagram was no longer in the search bar, meaning you were never seen by random eyes anymore unless they were already following you. So basically, content was going from 98% non-followed views to 1%, meaning someone listed that in the comments. If you made a post on Instagram and it got 300 likes, 1% might be a person that's not following you. It used to be 98% were not following. So you could fart out a video on Instagram of you hosing a Glock 18 into a berm and it would get 250,000 views on Instagram. Once Facebook bought out Instagram and cleaned up the gun content, that same video today might get 1,000 views if it's lucky, because it doesn't get seen by random eyes anymore. That's just how it is. I don't know if it's the same way. YouTube seems to be a bit easier to grow a channel if it's going to be gun related, even with all the restrictions that YouTube has and how much they hate gun stuff. Instagram is borderline impossible to grow a gun channel anymore. Very, very difficult unless you have the YouTube channel to back it up.
Right. It's interesting too, because YouTube, the way you consume content on YouTube isn't necessarily only from opening your YouTube app and seeing something in your feed. Like, how often are you watching a video that way versus a video that you intentionally go to the search bar and search, whether it be like music or a how-to video, or maybe to look up someone's channel, versus with Instagram, you're almost exclusively just kind of viewing and taking in content that is in your feed, right? It's being fed to you through your feed or through the Explorer. You're not really I might do a hashtag search, or I might search for something on Instagram very rarely, but 99% of the time it's just open the app and whatever's being recommended right then and there. So a lot of just interesting data.
Let's talk about the big trend right now. TikTok. Someone put it's 50% of the internet like traffic right now is all freaking funneled through TikTok. Mm-hmm. So what that has caused, the way you hold your phone on TikTok and watch a video, you hold it straight up and down and it fills your screen, right? Every other social media platform, YouTube included, wants that. They know people are so used to that. So now YouTube has Shorts, Instagram has Reels, Facebook has whatever the hell they call it. It is so bad. If you are not posting that way on Instagram, you might as well not even post anymore. You need to film straight up and down on your phone and post it as a reel, which basically makes it look like a TikTok. And then it's like back in the old days making content where stuff just blows up overnight. Because Instagram, Tony made a good point when we talked about this. Instagram's so desperate to get that market share. All content is good content now, unless it's filmed TikTok style, and it's getting freaking people back on our app. YouTube. There are people shooting past 100,000 subscriptions that do nothing more than make 60-second shorts, making really eye-catching stuff. I'm talking super low-effort content, but people are really trained to seek that type of stuff out because of TikTok now. Yeah. Reels on YouTube are blowing up, and they are sending channels to the moon. However, when you get into monetization, you can monetize the short reels on YouTube but it doesn't work the same way. You might get 1 million views on a reel on YouTube, and if you monetize it, you'll get like $6. To get 1 million views on a regular format widescreen video that they can post ads on, 1 million views would get you several $1,000s, if not like, $10,000.
It is funny to see all the platforms are basically all fighting for that market share now of these short vertical videos. So we're like no longer, like we're just so easily distracted now that it's like we're like turning into zombies watching 60-second clips after 60-second clips of some stupid shit out there. It's funny to me. Facebook is starting to get really weird for me. I've had a couple of videos. If you go to the Khyber Customs page on Facebook,
yeah, they've blown up. Yeah,
dude, I've had a couple of videos go absolutely globally viral in the middle of the night. It's like, so I posted a video. It's not even 30 seconds long of me test firing a G36, a full auto G36. It is not like a video I spent any time on. It was just, hey Clay, film me test firing this gun. That's it.
That's all it was.
30 seconds long, posted it on Facebook, and it sat around for 2 weeks doing nothing. And then one morning I woke up and Facebook is telling me there's like 300 comments on this one video. And I'm like, okay, this one, like,
Good question.
caught a current, right? This video caught a current, and now it's like probably going viral internationally. And sure enough, that's exactly it. It was like people from New Zealand, Australia.
Dude, that was so
video
funny.
got shared so many fucking times, and these people are like, in the comments, and it's like that.
Tony
video,
called me. He's like, I think my video went viral. I'm starting to get a lot of hateful comments. And it was just all these dudes going, that dude would get killed in combat. Just like, bah, 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 bah.
It was like, that guy's got a small penis. Like,
He needs to change his face.
Guys? And then what's funny is I posted another video of the G36 shortly after, not for any reason other than we just had another video. And the same thing happened to that video. So if you really want to piss people off on Facebook, post a video with a G36 or G36K. The gun just doesn't look like something you see commonly. I think that probably has a little bit to do with it because people are like, what the hell is that? But
Yeah.
I have 2 videos now that even to this day, I'm still having to address stupid fucking comments every day of people like, why would you have that? Are you prepared to go shoot a school? It's like,
Oh, dude.
really?
TJP has a really good, this is a great account that is the poster child of gun content blowing up. Jaeger Z999. He's got an Instagram and a YouTube channel. I actually just talked to him yesterday. We're going to send him a couple of third pin shirts.
Nice.
So I said earlier,
he liked the video. He liked the post that we put out there.
right. So I said earlier that, and I hope some people didn't take this the wrong way, because he is the counter to what I said. I said, people can have really low effort reels and it'll blow up. This guy, it is not low effort. His film quality, the time he takes to set up his lighting, going to the range, the way he's building his guns, the gear he's wearing, the music he adds in, they are some of the highest quality gun reels I've ever seen. And he shot, I think he's got like 1 million subscribers now, some crazy number, all on 60-second clips on YouTube.
It's all the same format. It's just, it's a great format. I really like his content. I'm guessing everything he's posting is in 4K.
Let alone the dude shoots. I thought I had a fast trigger finger. This guy is like the Hickok of shooting guns fast. He is, Hickok's a bad way to put it. He is the Mikulek of shooting guns fast. Highly entertaining. Like that guy, so 1.6 million making 60-second videos. Pretty crazy. But
So
his stuff's great.
You think he'll want to come be on the live stream someday?
I don't know. He hides his face. He seems kind of secretive. Like he's not really all about, all this kind of stuff, which I respect. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't want to put him in a spot he wouldn't want to be in. But
we know a couple guys like that. We know a guy that makes chest rings who's like that.
Oh, I gotta tell his story a little bit.
Do you want me to show? I got my rig back here.
Oh yeah, grab that one too, my new one. You want to see my new FAL rig?
Yeah.
see my Svetlana one too.
Oh yeah, Rachel has her new Svetlana rig. She's keeping it for Svetlana for a little while.
He made I bought this rig from him, and I asked him if he would add the alpaca fur straps, and he said yes.
Ooh, very nice.
Super nice rigs. Very proud. But yeah, you should tell the story about this gentleman.
He made these for 308 FAL rigs for since we have so many FALs now.
That's Gucci.
All the straps are surplus AK slings. Very cool.
Fuck yeah, man.
Super sick. And then I got to show you this one. He made ones for Svetlana next time she comes to the States. This triggers so many people when Svetlana wears her Ushanka with the hammer and sickle on it.
The back.
But bro.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So quick story on this guy. Dude, he might have had like 100 subscribers or 100 followers on Instagram. And he reached out one day and said, hey man, I live in Brooklyn. I've got access to some pretty high-end leather. I'd like to make you a chest rig. I think I can make them look cool. And he sent one of the early prototypes. I still have it to this day. It still has held up to this day. Like, it works. Without telling you his name or anything like that. So this guy basically works for, he wouldn't even tell me the name, a very high-end clothing manufacturer. Like, I'm talking works runways. He's the guy in the back fixing, like, you know, $250,000 outfits on the fly. I've seen pictures of, I mean, this guy's like in a high-rise building in Brooklyn, New York, in the fashion industry, making some super high-end stuff. Anyway, he's behind enemy lines and he's a gun guy. So without his employer knowing, he manufactures these freaking dope handmade chest rigs. He doesn't really show his face, if at all. I don't know if he ever has. He has a private account, but I won't talk about it. He's making these things and he's sending them. He sends them all over the country. People outside of the country are buying them. But his story, the fact that he has told me flat out, he's like, dude, I work in the fashion industry. I've got friends that I can't even tell that I make chest rigs for guns. But the leather he's using, I mean, dude, he'll make you a chest rig out of snakeskin leather. But what's crazy is he can't tell anyone. This guy's like the Banksy of the gear world. He's in secret making these super high-end pieces of art that hold your mags. And he can't tell anyone where he lives.
And they're one-offs. Every single one is handmade one-off.
Yep. If his employers or friends were to, if the fashion industry that he's around constantly were to find out he's into this gun thing, dude, he's like, I would be excommunicado. He's like, that's why I can't come to events. I can't come show my face. He's like, I can't risk losing what's paying my bills up here. That's how bad New York is for him as far as his hobby.
Right.
So he's making this stuff behind enemy lines. That's why it's so cool.
That's a pretty cool, that's a very cool story. I mean, this guy is like, it just goes to show, like, there are a lot of people out there that are just kind of under the radar, and he's one of them. And he probably ends up with like this like leftover fabric. You know, they probably did like a dress, and he's got like an extra 10 square yards of this top grain Italian sunbathed, you know, stained leather, and he's like, gonna make a couple of badass chest rigs with this extra. He's probably got some like hair on hide, you know, like just badass, you know, overruns of this fabric, and he's making fucking chest rigs out of it. So if you want to get one of these rigs, how do you do it?
You go
He has a
to.
website now too.
He's got a website.
Yeah, he'll release one every 3 hours,
Mhm.
and he'll do countdowns on his stories. Be like, all right, guys, if you really want this rig, come get
So
it.
apparently he's got a website. The way that we've always found him was Instagram. by.davronov, and that's how you can find him on Instagram. I will show you his account right now.
This is the other rig. This is my first rig. I just wanted a 2-mag holder, not a 3-mag. But it's just, you know, it's like a suede leather, really nice with the canvas on the back. And every single one of his rigs has a date stamp on it. Yeah, there he is.
So here's the channel if you want to find him. There's his website, davronov.com, so you don't have to make an Instagram anymore. But look at this stuff. I mean, he's making stuff for shotgun cases. Look, he made bolt cutters for this guy. Mm-hmm. This guy might be an electrician and wants a dope-ass chest rig to hold bolt cutters. This one has a Kraken, snake skin, alligator skin, hair on hide, like Tony said. You can literally get cowhide with the hair still on it. Beautiful stuff.
He's doing
There's my boy, Flood Munitions, right there. Holla, he's in the group chat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing drum mags now for rigs. It's hilarious.
Dude, he'll make these ski masks too to go with your chest rig. Super sick. But yeah, Tony, show them what makes each rig so special.
Well, you just, there's like little things that sometimes, like, just little.
Show them the date stamp on the back.
Yeah. So this is on this particular one. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says Davernoff up top. It says made in Brooklyn, New York, and then it's got a date stamp. There we go. Right there. And then G3, I'm guessing there's something, maybe that's his template or whatever that he uses for these, but every single one of them has a stamp on it. Yeah, these will be, and I agree, someone made a comment down in the comment section about, there's just something about these like small time niche, but like really high quality Gucci type stuff. Like, there's a ton of companies out there that are doing high quantity production type stuff, but this is what you'll give to your kid one day. I mean, this is something you'll pass on and be like, this is like a one of a kind, I'm lucky enough to have 2 of his rigs. You probably got like 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah, we probably have 7 or 8 of them now, and dude, just the way they smell. I mean, they smell like some really fine quality leather every time you put them on, and they're not just showpieces. I've worn mine to classes, competitions. We've literally, at Kalashnikon, had to do bear crawls on gravel with these things, and they hold up. They are functional pieces of art that you can wear to the range. Very dope. Well, we've kind of gone on a couple of tangents here, Tony. I was hoping I could take you way, way back, and I wanted to get your reaction on something. We talked a little bit about how you and I met back in the day, and the answer I gave people was this guy, Brandon, reached out and said, hey, you're on AK Files. You live near me. We're all getting together at the range with some other AK Files guys. So we used to get together and shoot.
Hizzy Biscuits.
Hizzy Biscuits. Well, we used to film them back in the day, and dude, we look like babies. Check this out.
That's me picking my ass.
Yep. Dude, this was
2017. Wow.
Do you remember Dave? Dave used to get all this organized from the files. There's Mike. I don't remember this guy's name. I think he came out like one time. There's several of these guys I don't recognize.
Dude, that's before the range was a range. It
Look
just
how
was a field.
There's no concrete. There's no nothing. Nothing. So check this out.
Guns everywhere.
Dude, remember back then, we didn't even know what to do. We would just all sit at a bench and just sort of slowly shoot down range. Like, we weren't doing all the goon stuff that we do now.
We're like, hey, can I go hot, guys? Everyone good with me firing off a couple rounds? Okay, thanks.
I might do a reload. Yeah. Is that cool? There was, let me see if I can find it. Let me skip forward a little bit. Hey, hold on, look at this guy.
It just made sense.
Dude, look at that little roach.
It's clean, I love the wood.
Yeah. Nice shooter, real smooth.
We did not know each other very well right now. This might have been the second or third time we had seen each other.
AK Files is like the fucking who's who.
Yeah. That's how it all started.
Shout out to AK Files.
Look at my 1911 on my head.
Remember Joe? Was it Joe? Joe and Jen?
This was before we had machine guns. Everything changed around that time.
That was my Draco before it was at SBR. There's Hizzy Biscuits. Hizzy Biscuits, honestly, I got to give my man some props here. Hizzy Biscuits he's kind of the reason we all know each other. Had Hizzy Biscuits not reached out to me on Facebook years ago and invited me to this little shoot, I wouldn't have met any of you guys, probably ever. So shout out to the Hizzy Biscuit man.
Brandon, he doesn't live too far from us. He lives over in Spring. I mean, I'm sure he's like 10 minutes away. We should just go ring his doorbell and be like, bro.
He used to come out all the time, and then I remember he had a job at the hospital where he was working like 7 days a week, and he just could not come out anymore, and we just never really saw him again much after that. He had a kid and was working long hours, so it's just so funny how these friends kind of come and go. People have kids, people get married, people get jobs, and they just sort of come and go, man.
Those were some good days, man. Those were the early days. We were kids. Look at me.
Look at that
I was a kid.
old cheese grater.
Ooh. Look at that recoil management.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dave,
I gotta get another SKS.
there's a small child Clay right there.
Wait, what's that shirt?
My tight ass no step on snack shirt. Okay, hold on. I don't know if we do anything. Look, this was shooting to us back then. Let's just all get together and not talk much, and we'll just sit at a bench and shoot.
Yeah. I think I hit something.
Oh, dude, there's Leo. Dude, I miss Leo. Leo's such a good dude. Leo's that guy that is sitting on a mountain of uber rare guns and mags.
Yeah.
AKX9 before it was an SBR.
I knew Leo from AK Files because we did a lot of trading and a lot of buying stuff on AK Files back in the day. Dude, back in the day, it's like, I don't know if every AK guy goes through this phase, but I certainly did. But there was this phase about like my first year in that I was like, I'm going to collect every magazine. So I've probably got in the bunker of shit that I have forgot about hundreds of mags. Everything from like the waffles. You've seen some of the waffles I've got. Like I got steel mags from every country. Like wooden. I mean, you've seen the wooden crates too.
Yeah, I remember you found a box of random Yugo mags. Remember that?
The what?
We were at the shop one day and you were like, I freaking forgot I had this. It was a box full of mint, all still brand new in the bag, freshly blued Yugo bolt hold open mags that were proof stamped. And you were like, I didn't even remember having these. And you had a huge box.
The story on the Yugo mags was back in the day, SG Ammo. SG Ammo would get like crates and crates and crates of mags, and you could buy them, right? And they were like ran this sale. It was like Romy mags for like $5, and I bought hundreds of them, right? And my order shows up, and it was like all Yugos, and I'm like, holy shit! And there was like M64 mags in there. I had a couple Yugos with that triangle stamp.
Yeah.
And it was like minty Yugos, and it was like, I don't know, maybe they just sold more than they had, and they just gave me those. You know, I don't know, but dude, SG Ammo. Man, I think that's probably where I bought most of my mags, but I've probably got close to, I don't know, dude, hundreds and hundreds of steel mags. And I don't think I ever paid more than like $7 a mag back then.
Look at all this 545. And just, dude, I've seen so, back at this time, 74s were everywhere. 545 was
We're all sitting at the
19 cents
bench
around.
shooting like a bunch of muff daddies.
I know. So Rachel and I were watching this. I was like, dude, we didn't even know how to have fun at the range back then. We didn't. So none of us knew each other very well. This is maybe the second time we'd all hung out. We weren't really. I think it was like the 2 or 3 times after this we started like having little competitions where like we brought the sled. We would do the sled pulls. Remember that?
Yeah.
We had to. But this was early. We didn't know each other. I had just met Joe, probably for the first time ever. I didn't even know you very well, dude. I think this is when I just realized you were the Khyber Customs guy. I didn't know
we
Leo.
told that story the last time, but if you didn't hear it the last time, I walk over to Clay and he's got, you know, one of his Bulgarian guns or something. One of his guns or 2 of his guns had cheese graters on them, and I was like, I was fucking with him, and I'm like, hey, where'd you get those? And he's like, oh, I bought them off this website, you know. And I'm like, oh, really? Cool. Well, thank you for your business. And I shook his hand, and he's like, wait, what? And that's how we met. And I was like, hey, you know what? This guy, you know, at the range, I got to meet one of my customers in person. And I remember, man, you know what? I've totally forgot. But man, dude, I remember that very surreal feeling, thinking, and I'm going to segue into a funny, spicy topic here. But I remember thinking to myself back then, like, wow, you know, there may come a day where I'm out at the range and I'm meeting a customer in person. And you know, 5 years, 6 years later, you know, the cheese grater, back then, people were paying like $150, $200 for a cheese grater. That's what people were paying for what they were thinking was a Chinese cheese grater. They never really made them in China. They were made at some muffler shop in Ohio, but the guy was using Chinese, Russian, Romanian gas tubes, whatever he could use, and he was making them and welding them in to the gas tubes. Well, people were selling them on AK Files for like $200, $250 for these cheese graters. And I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, someone needs to make these. So that's what happened. That's why I went off and designed my cheese grater and made those. What's funny is, fast forward to today, the cheese graters become kind of like this meme, kind of product.
Hey,
that wasn't my intention. My intention was just to make something that everybody at the time wanted, and you couldn't get them unless you wanted to pay $250 for one, right? Well, then I make them, and then it's like years later they become kind of this meme thing. But now, what's funny to me is I'm thinking I'm going to be this old fucking guy, and some guy's going to be like, hey, my grandpa liked AKs too. Check this one out. And it's going to have a cheese grater on it. And I'm going to shit my diaper, right? Like laughing, going, there's going to be cheese graters all over AKs for like the next 50 years.
Dude,
I love it. I think that's such a funny story. I literally had a day job, and now I work for myself now because of the cheese graters. That was the lily pad that pushed me into being an entrepreneur. I'll never be, I'll be grateful for that for the rest of my life. Just kind of a really funny story. Thank you for the comment, Casey Ghost. I appreciate that.
I see a lot of people in the comments getting super nostalgic. So this is what, 2017? So AKs were a Bulgarian 107 back in 2017 was $1,100, and you had your pick of the litter when you walked into a gun shop. 104s were available, 106s were available. They were $1,100 guns. 545 back then. I know 7.62 back then was probably about 18 to 19 cents a round. Every now and again, Academy would do blowouts, and you could get it for cheaper. I'm talking like $2.99 a box. 545 was probably even cheaper because no one was really buying it back then.
Yeah, but you know what, Clay? The real fucking party was on AK Files. AK Files and AK Forum. For those of y'all who are watching, who have been in this for a while, the real, the riot was AK Files and AK Forum. Because people, dude, I used to I would get home from work, and I would pull up the AK Files Marketplace and just refresh, every couple minutes. Because sometimes out of nowhere, someone would be selling off, their Arabic marked Egyptian kit, and the price would be silly. And it would be 10 people would jump on it immediately. If you wanted to get the good stuff, you had to be waiting. But those forums, those marketplaces were the coolest shit I have in my collection. I got off the AK Forum or off AK Files. And it's that was the absolute place to get the best shit. And I don't know if...
So, bro, you make a great point here. We get questions all the time. People will point at some random thing. This Yugo SKS. Oh, what website do I go and buy that? Bro, the struggle of getting the nice stuff for your AK today, like you said, dude, back in the day, if you were patient, you could get on AK Files and find crazy stuff that's never going to be for sale on a website. You just got to see the guy that has it at the time that posted for sale. There's a hustle to being into AKs. There's a hustle to building a collection of accessories, rare magazines, special types of ammo that were never sold. A few badges might have come in, tracer rounds. This was like a golden age of AK Files. All these guys, AK Files guys, this t-shirt that Mike's wearing here, he made it just to sell on AK Files. There are people that own that t-shirt that only own it because they used to lurk on AK Files. Dude, those days, they're not here anymore.
I have that shirt in the closet, dude. I had that shirt right there. There's one. I still have it.
I feel bad for some of the newer, younger guys that are getting to AKs now, and they don't know that golden age of having these dark forums to go to that looked like they were built on a Craigslist server. Not that easy to navigate. You kind of have to know where to go. Very easy to get banned. There's certain terms people use on there that you only know if you've been on AK Files for 4 years.
There's some moderators that are probably still moderators from back in the day. Nalioth or whatever. Probably still a moderator there. But dude, there were you know how there was that thing called the fappening where it was history was made on the internet?
Yes.
There were times on AK Files that things like that happened. Some guy that was a well-known contributor to the forum was I'm getting out of the game. I'm going to be selling off my collection in the marketplace over the next week. And I mean, there was one time, dude, this one guy, he's a Texan. The dude unloaded hundreds, parts kits. He had like crates full of waffle mags, and the dude just dumped them over a period of a week, dude. And that week was I think I'm calling out of work sick, so I can just sit on marketplace and try to buy up this guy's collection as he sells it, but dude,
This
there
guy
were
right
some
here.
wild times.
This is Leo. You met him before I ever did on the files. He was just a username, right? Until we all got together and started doing this. Leo's one of those guys, dude, that has been in this AK and just like rare gun, pre-band gun collecting for a long time. Leo's the type of dude, you could be at the range with him, and I could say, damn, man, like, I would give anything to have one of those Molot 5.56 RPK mags, and he'd be like, I think I got a box of those. Like, what? Yeah, I bought them from Royal Tiger back in the day. They were like $80. I think I bought like 100 of them. I'm like, oh my God, Leo, put your kid to college with that box. He's like, oh, really? I didn't even know. And that's a box next to 100 other boxes that he probably forgot he had. These are the guys that you meet, and you always keep their phone number. And every now and again, you reach out and you're like, Leo, I need a favor, dude. Would you happen to have this? And he's like, yeah, man, I'll cut you a deal for it. What's your offer? This guy is the reason I have any rare art. Like, I bought so many rare RPK mags from Leo. He's just a good freaking guy to know. And that was all. He was just another face on AK Files.
Yeah, he sold me my M64 Reweld.
Yes, that's true.
And also that Mahdi, the one with the crutch folder on it, that Two Rivers built with the original Romanian barrel. I got that from him too. I mean, two of like my coolest, guns in my private collection I got from him. They're really badass, stuff. So
this is a good one. That feeling when you walk in, because dude, you don't find cool shit at gun shops. You just don't.
Right.
But that one time you do, and you look in the box labeled Tapco mags, and you find a Bulgarian Circle 10 with a $10 tag on it, or you find something super rare and they have it mislabeled, and you're like,
do you have any more of these? Because I'll take them all.
Yes. Will you please check the back to see if you have another? Yeah. Such a cool feeling, and you just like can't wait to get out the front door and go, oh, I made it. Freaking made it.
It's even more satisfying when it's like a pawn shop, because the pawn shops are such bullshit, right? Dude.
That was probably something our dads did before Google, before pawn shops could Google everything on the shop. Yeah.
I remember I had to buy a Wasser because I needed just like a standard AKM rifle to do some R&D stuff, and I was like, fuck, I'm just going to go to the nearest pawn shop that has a Wasser on the shelf and buy it. And I went to the one in Tomball, and they had two Wassers on the shelf, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like so underwhelmed, and I'm like, man, I just wish there was something, like something. And the guy goes, well, I do have this one rifle that someone pawned and they never picked up, but it's a big piece of shit. And I'm like, all right, well, let's see it. And he pulls out that Armory USA guns built like on a heavy barrel Bulgarian kit. And I'm like, he goes, it's a piece of shit. And I'm like, well, what's the price? Piece of shit price. He's like, $500. I was like, out the door, I'll take it. And dude, that's probably one of my favorite guns, favorite AKs, the Armory USA SSR 85C2. It's a 1.6 millimeter receiver, and they used an original Bulgarian like milled kit to build it on. So it's got the heavy barrel on it. Dude, it is sick ass gun.
Such a cool thing. Another thing that just makes AKs cool. Some people in this chat probably don't even know about Armory USA. They might. I bet you there's someone in the comments that may have seen an AK with Armory USA on the side with like Houston, Texas stamped on the side, and was probably thinking, oh, maybe that was rare. Maybe I should have sold that for $400. Yeah, it was rare, and it was nice.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna end up doing a video on YouTube about that gun and let people know, like, okay, because I think I've probably got 4 or 5 of them now. I just like peruse Gunbroker and nobody knows about them, and when they pop up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy that one too. But dude, I bought a couple. Remember, I bought those 2 matching ones off Gunbroker recently, like $800. It's like easily a $1,500-$1,600 by today's standards, $1,500-$1,600 gun. I'm probably going to end up doing a video on like my best kept secret guns. Like, these are the ones that aren't as common, but if you can find one, these are fucking dope to have. Like your Gordon deck. Did you sell that thing?
Hell no.
Okay. About to say, I thought I saw you make a comment about getting rid of it, and I was like, what an idiot. Why
no, I trolled on Reddit a little bit. There's this controversy going around with Sam 5s being overgassed and their pieces of junk, and the bolt gets hung up. So I took the piston out of my carrier, so it keeps getting stuck on the sight block, and I was like, Sam 5 doing Sam 5 stuff. How do I fix? no one noticed that the piston wasn't in it, and it is just people like, just hating it. But that's my Grail gun, dude. I paid $750 for that thing. Those guns go for close to $3,000 now. Like, that's that one. Gordon Tex is a great one that not many people know about. And he did these small runs of batches. Those things are built on Bulgarian milled receivers. They were building SLR 100Hs with Type 3 Hungarian parts kits. Those things are out there. And without knowing what the proof stamp looks like, you don't know.
For those of y'all that are, I'm seeing some people comment. I think this is a good topic for those of y'all who are in the comments. Let's rope y'all in for a little bit. If you would so kindly, and make it truthful. Don't go too crazy and say you only paid $5 for a gun if you didn't. But type in the comments. Let us know, like, one of those just right place, right time. What was the best right place, right time deal that you've had in your lifetime? It's the fish story, you know, that you tell everybody about, like that one deal.
You felt like you stole the damn thing. Let us know.
Like, the last time someone got a deal that good, they were wearing a ski mask.
So Jacob, my man Jacob, dude, we've used him for some art. He actually did our Macho Man Randy Slavage. He's done a lot of cool artwork for us. He picked up a Champion Draco. Not a lot of people know what those are. Romanian built, true imported 5.56 Dracos. He got it for a little over $700. I remember he texted me. He's like, "Is this thing rare?" I'm like, "It's really rare. Buy that now." And he did, and it's a nice gun.
So while people are commenting about this, I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. If you were, let's say that you decided, I'm going to put $5,000 aside, and like this is like I can lose this money, I'll forget about it, but this money is set aside strictly for finding like these hidden gems. Like, I'm not going to go pay gun broker prices for a gun, but I want to have this money set aside so like when I happen to be at the right place, right time, I'm prepared to buy that. Where would you spend your time looking for those like just hidden nuggets out in the wild?
The first place that comes to mind, I mean, everyone would say gun broker, but we live in Texas. We have Texas Gun Trader. I do look at Texas Gun Trader at least once a day. Constantly.
So Texas Gun Trader is where you spend your time? I
think so.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be quick on Gun Trader. Like, you got to be willing to like meet that person up and seal that deal, because I've seen some good stuff come up on Gun Trader, but I was not quick enough, and it's like, oh, I already sold it. Fuck.
CS 2005 says he got a Tantal on a Nodex Spud receiver, all original furniture for $700. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's cool. So, right before all the Russian stuff, there was like the sanctions and all that shit. Steven had a guy bring in a couple Vepers, and it was like a 7.62 Veper, a 5.45 Veper, and something, maybe one of Veper 12 or something. But right before all that happened, and the guy ended up selling to me, and I want to say like $750, and I bought both of the Vepers, and I was like, dude, these 5.45 guns are going to be insane one day. Fuck, there they are. That was about a year before the sanctions shit hit the fan.
So I see earlier people were saying, man, if I could just get in a time machine, I'd go back to 2017 and buy all those 104s, bro. I'd go back a little bit further and buy every Saiga Sporter I could find. Because now, back then...
Gosh, dude.
Back then, it's what, $250 for a Sporter?
Bro, there was a 223 Sporter at one of the local gun shops. It was $129. And I was like, nah. That's a lot of money for that fucking weird-looking rifle. I'm out.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Like, when those were available, I was just a little bit too young, and all I had was a Wasser. So, like I say, I didn't know what a Sporter AK was. So when I'm just thinking, why would anyone sell an AK like that? Like, buy a Wasser. It's already got the grip in the right place and all that. Like, I wonder why they sell them like that. I was too young, dude. I didn't understand about like importation. Dude, what am I, 15 at the time? 16 maybe? I didn't get it. But I remember going to gun shows every time they came to Texas. They come to our town, 6 times a year? 6 months out of the year, there's a gun show out here.
Do you have a similar story in the car world? Like, did you ever come into a car or a vehicle or something like that was like stupid?
My current Fox body is the most ridiculous price anyone's ever paid for a Fox body that clean. My Jeep Cherokee was a really good buy, but I think my Fox body, dude, because what Fox bodies are selling for right now, stupid money. Like a clapped out roller with no engine sells for a hell of a lot more than I paid for my car.
Really?
Yes. Right time, right place. Guy needed money, lost his job, put it on Craigslist. Gone. It's insured. It's insured for almost triple what I paid for it. That's what it would go for.
So I'll make this one quick, but back in the day, I used to do finance, and I was living in Miami, and I would get this random phone call at my office, and it was this old Cuban guy, and he would say, "I can't drive. I have this car. It's just sitting. It's been sitting in my garage, for almost 2 years. Hasn't been run, but I want to sell it." And I was like, "I don't buy cars, dude. It's not what we do, but thanks for letting us know." The guy called so many times, and finally I was like, "All right, look, man, you actually don't live far from my office. I'm leaving work early today. I'll swing by your house and see if I can give you a business card or refer someone to you." I go to this guy's house, and this is like in North Miami Beach. Dude's got no front door on his house, and he's just standing there, right? Like, the house had dust all over the place. It was out of control. But the guy had a little Ford Escort with like 5,000 miles on it. It was white, and it just was sitting there covered in dirt and dust. It needed a battery and a fuel system. And I'm like, "I don't know what to tell you. I can refer you to a place." The guy's like, "Bro, $500 and the car's yours." And I got the title right here. And I was like, I just happen to have $500 cash in my pocket, and it must be meant to be. And I bought that car, and I was like, dude, I drove that little thing around for a little while. It's like $500 Ford Escort. It was only a couple years old. It's a nice little deal, dude.
Neat. I wish buying used cars was that easy. Nowadays, ain't that way no more.
I know, dude. It was a fun time, though.
TJP, Tony, where do you think the AK market's going to be in 10 years?
I mean, look, the only reason we even have the market that we have is because of the abundance of those parts kits. So, these guns were used and sold in wars, and then they were not used. And they had this scrap metal laying around, and somebody was smart enough to be entrepreneurial in their mind and said, well, shit, we can cut these things up and bring them over here and sell them as spare parts. And then fast forward, it became an industry because there was just such an abundance of it. Well, guess what? As that industry was created, so did an appetite that came with it. And unfortunately, that industry was created on something that had a finite amount of inventory to feed it. So that's where we're at. It's like, it is what it is. This was, any smart person back then would have realized, hey, this has a timeline on it, and we've reached that timeline. But the market has grown so big that you have companies like KUSA, Palmetto State Armory, whoever, are trying to capitalize on that appetite and say, hey, if we build something, people will buy it. Century, right? If we build something, they'll buy it. So in 10 years, what I'm hoping is that the market will continue to sustain. People will continue to come into the market. Things like Kalash Bash will continue to happen. That's a big thing. A thing like Kalash Bash happening is what helps companies like Century, Palmetto, and for them to see value in the industry and say, we need to keep investing in it. If that continues to happen, then it's only natural that more private companies will jump in and look for an opportunity to capitalize and make money. And by extension, the quality of that product will go up. Hopefully the quality of the rifles will go up, and it will become something that can be sustained for a long period of time. I hope that's what happens.
OTB Cliff makes a good point. When ammo got insane, I think we saw the biggest boom in AK ownership because for that brief period in time, steel case ammo wasn't affected. Yeah. So all these AR Johnnies were like, still want to shoot. I guess I'll go buy some cheap PSA AK or something just to get access to that ammo. Yeah. And that didn't help people like us having so many, because then they bought them and they're like, oh, AKs are actually pretty sick. And That didn't help. It's good and it's bad. It's a catch-22. It's cool that more people are getting into AKs, but it definitely drives the price up on absolutely everything about the hobby. That's just the way it is.
I don't think we're gonna see, what we saw 10 years ago with like it was just crazy. Like there'd be times where it's like all of a sudden Egyptian kits came out of nowhere, and for about a year, those places like What a Country, Our Guns, AKPartsKits.com, AK Builder, or all Arms of America. At that time, there were so many places that you could buy parts kits, and it was the flavor of the week. It would be numbers matching Arabic kits, or someone got a batch of East German kits in, and I don't think we're ever going to see that again. At least I wouldn't get like my feelings tied up in hoping that that's going to happen again. But obviously there's a lot of people that like the AK. There's enough people that are shooting it that companies are going to capitalize on that and keep making things. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Tanny.
By the way, we need to acknowledge Rachel.
Rachel just joined the chat. I had a video to, it's kind of like her intro theme from a viewer, actually. You want to check that drip out real quick?
Yeah, I got a picture for Rachel, too. I was hoping she'd...
All right, well, check this out.
Bella has just entered the chat. She's always ready, aiming for the center of mass, and that's facts. She's a fighter for show. She swipes her safety off with her hand on fire control. That's how we operate, so you can stop the hate. Let's abolish the ATF, and that's not up for debate. So don't stop and wait. These gun laws need a repeal. Go watch Klayco's latest video of his gun dream reveal.
Damn, that was a sick flow, dude.
Tell me that didn't slap. That's what the kids say, right? That slapped.
Hey, Rachel, one of the topics that we put, like, hey, if we want to pivot into a topic, was let's talk about chicks, man.
Yeah, talk about the ladies.
Like personal or what? What are the questions?
Oh, hey, Lil Khyber wants to say hi real quick before she goes to bed because it's past her bedtime.
Okay. Hello. Hi, Ella.
What up, Ella?
You about to go to bed?
I guess so.
I guess so.
I
guess so.
She sounds so mature these days.
She does.
She's such a big kid.
Hey, Ella.
She's a gray and white stripe in jiu-jitsu, so she can kick some ass.
Dude, Ella, I've been watching your videos. You're kicking ass.
Ella's been snapping necks and cashing checks.
Mm-hmm. We'll try to make it to one of your shows. We really want to go.
We're gonna come to your show, Ella.
Yeah, at the dojo.
I was making fun of me.
Watch her flip people over with her chi.
You either need to go to bed and read a book, or you can hang out for a little bit longer downstairs. All right.
Is there an option where I can hang out a little longer?
People get you
hang out up here,
confused
but
with stuff on all the
we're going to be
time.
talking about some adult topics here.
I don't know why we don't look alike.
I don't know. I think the resemblance is pretty close. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so for those of y'all who are watching, if you're just getting to know Clay or just kind of getting introduced to him recently, you may not know this, but Clay and Rachel are engaged, and they're going to be getting married in March.
In April.
April.
March, April, same thing, right?
Same
Tony's
thing.
only the best man. He's on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah, he's need to know all that.
I look at things at the big picture, okay? I'm not a detail guy, right?
We know.
Technically, I'm ready in March, right?
Yeah.
April is 420, so it's a little hazy of a month for me, but I'll be ready by March, so we'll be good. So anyways, for those of y'all who are just getting to know Clay and Rachel, I think a round of applause. Congratulations on the engagement. We're really looking forward to the wedding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I believe anybody who wants to go can attend. They just need to show up. Is that right, Rachel?
It's like $100 a plate, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
So no?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
So, Clay asked me to be his best man. And, of course, I told him it'd be my honor to. And I'm thinking, Rachel, since you're here, we should just go ahead and negotiate the bachelor party part. I need to go ahead and I need to set some boundaries, right?
Right.
But before we get started, Rachel, I have a picture for you, and I'd love to know a little bit about this picture.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
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 If you could so kindly, I'm sharing my screen, I believe. Let me try again. Hang on.
Someone says strip club. No.
Ella's already laughing.
Ella!
I'm gonna regret that.
No, you're not. You're not gonna regret it. All right. Share screen. Here we go. Sorry. I'm gonna need an explanation.
She's so nervous because I'm about to share it, so everyone
How did
will
you get
see.
that? How did you get that picture?
Can we zoom in? Hang on.
Hey, look.
No, looks like I got one too.
I love that. I love that you can see her.
Okay, I hate y'all. Okay. How did he get that? Did he go through my old Instagram?
I don't know. Enhance. Someone said enhance.
Oh my
Enhance.
gosh. So, I think that was like at the
Explain,
beginning.
please.
That was our beginning of relationship. We went to the Turtle a lot, the Naked Turtle.
Yeah, we
The
were out
Naked
drinking.
Turtle. We drank a lot, played pool and stuff, and then
You cross-eyed?
stop zooming in. Anyway, so we went out a lot back in the day, and our friends were with us. So I'm like, Clay, let's take a funny picture. And so he's like this, and I'm just like, okay. And then my friend Lindsay's like, I'll take a picture of them right now. And then that picture blew up everywhere. It was on Facebook. I don't even.
I have cropped that face onto so many photos over the years.
Yeah, don't go to your Facebook, please, because my face is on a lot of those photos. I hate that picture so much.
So how old were y'all?
So when I
Damn.
first met Clay, he was just turning 25.
Alabama Svetlana. I love that.
He was just turning 25, and we're 2
Dude.
years apart, so I was 23. Yeah, so we were pretty young, I guess.
Wait. This is our first year together or second
Yeah,
year?
it was our first year. That was Valentine's Day. We spent Valentine's Day.
Okay, so we met when I was 24.
Yes, and then I spent your first birthday with you the next month, because we started dating in May.
No, I was 26.
No. We started
You
dating
gotta
in
get
May.
your dates right, okay? I'm a perfectionist on dates. You gotta be perfect on these
yeah.
dates.
I'm
Okay.
like 24-ish, maybe
You're 25 there.
25. Dude, you caught me like right when I was like done being a stud.
Oh, really?
I hung up. I just like hung up my stud pants and decided to get
I'm just like, meh. Okay.
locked
Hey,
me
Clay.
down with the old ball and chain.
Can I make a special request?
Yep.
Keep zooming.
I really
Stop.
feel like we're doing Rachel a disservice when you have these excellent videos of her messing with Rachel. I think
No.
if you could just pull one of those
No.
up. If you could pull up a messing
What
with
is the best way to
Rachel,
pull one of those up? Facebook?
They're
I
on
think
YouTube.
it would I think it would really be the icing on the
think so.
cake here and really allow Rachel an opportunity to redeem herself after that picture.
Okay, so go to your videos. Your videos.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll all the way down because it's super old.
Oh, they are super old. Oh my gosh. This is before gun stuff.
Yeah. Look, right
Oh,
there.
bro.
Okay, so that's part... I think that's part 1.
Which one's good? They're all good.
I think part 1's the best one because it makes no sense. Yeah, this is us watching wrestling.
We'll watch one.
It says,
that funny?
look, must watch, see her. I have a treat for everyone.
Ready?
Rachel is
From out of nowhere!
What? Who abusive? Oh, I cussed in this one.
Dude, look how skinny.
I was really skinny.
Happy New Year.
You fucking asshole.
Oh my gosh, dude, the potty mouth.
Babe,
on
why are
this
you mad
one.
at me?
I told you not to show it. that sound is those pop rocks he's throwing. Not pop rocks, sorry. What? Fire pop rocks.
Dude, that's our old crappy apartment. Remember the old crappy apartment?
Yeah, I did not like that apartment.
Dude, look at the sink.
Look at the dishes.
Look at the dishes that you didn't do.
We're like barbarians. What? Oh, I get knocked here.
Oh, God. I think you cried after that.
I did.
Oh, I'm so glad I got that on camera.
Dude, the potty mouth on this one. Jeez.
Stop, please.
Jeez.
Dude,
It was
so much fun to watch. So much fun.
Oh, we were trying to go out that night, and I was just waiting for you. I'm like, let's go. I was getting so frustrated.
Stop! Play!
What are you talking about? Where are you?
Is this someone with the speaker and the cars fly everywhere?
Stop!
Oh, I don't know.
Dude,
Dude,
it's at the very
how old
end.
were we?
We were young. That's 2016.
Oh, dude. Look at all your shit on the floor.
I was reorganizing stuff.
Oh, there's my mom.
Yeah, your mom visit. I was like, told you, Mom. Oh my gosh.
What were you doing in there? Why was the door closed?
Stop! I was watching my shows. Oh.
Did I get you?
Oh, dude. There's 3 full-length videos.
There's 4 parts.
If you go to YouTube and search, or not YouTube, if you go to Facebook and search "Messing with Rachel," you'll probably find it.
Yeah, if you're on my personal Facebook, just find my videos. You'll see it. It's a good laugh.
I think that
Y'all
y'all
laugh.
are a great couple, and I'm not just saying that to butter y'all up, but y'all know me personally. I know y'all personally, and it's been really fun getting to know y'all and seeing how y'all are together. I think one of my like favorite things to show people about y'all when I'm explaining about my friendship with y'all is when y'all have the karaoke posts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, these two will sit at home, I'm sure all the neighbors are like, what the hell is going on in that house? Because y'all got like the strobe lights going on, you got the lights going on, there's like music going on like every Friday night or every Saturday night that y'all do that. And it's like, it's really cool that y'all can just do that. And y'all are like hanging out together and singing karaoke together, and it looks like y'all are having the best time ever. So
If it's just me and him, we have a lot of fun. Like we don't have to have any people over. It's just me and him entertaining ourselves and just singing. Oh my God! Remember you said you went out there by the driveway and you're like, I can hear you sing, and all my girlfriends were over that
She had a bunch
night.
of girls over one night, and she's like, you need to go to Tony's house and stay gone for a night because I'm having the bitches over. Well, they have a karaoke night. I couldn't find a place to stay gone, and I think it was midnight.
Yep.
And I tell her, I'm like, hey, I gotta come home. She's like, why? We're having all this fun. I'm like, I will go straight to the bedroom when I get home. Dude, I'm coming down our street. You can see our house at the end of the cul-de-sac. Bro, there are laser lights coming out of every crack and crevice of the house. The house is jamming. And, dude, I can hear women screaming from the end of the road. And I'm like, oh, my God, what I'm about to walk into. Dude, I, take a deep breath. I open the door, and it's like someone went, pew, whip, and, stopped the music. And all these girls turn and look. And I'm like, ladies. She's like, go to your room. All right.
Guy room, we're having fun.
Bro, there were so many women in there.
The AC.
Bro, the AC couldn't keep the temperature down in the house. There were so many people, so many women bodies, so much flesh in the living room singing. It raised the temperature in the house.
It was pretty wild.
So I have a funny story about Clay and Rachel that involves little Khyber over here. Ella, you want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
All right. So this happened maybe a month or 2 ago. Clay and Rachel came over to the house, to my house here. And Ella, she's been doing jujitsu now since April? She's been doing jujitsu for maybe 6 months at this where we're at today.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, She had only been doing jujitsu for like a couple months, and she's starting to learn chokes, and she's starting to learn, arm bars and stuff like that. And so Clay is up here in my office, and it's him, and I think Cody was here too.
Yeah.
We're all up here in my office, and I'm like, hey, Ella, show Clay your new move. And she's like basically putting Clay in a rear naked choke, right? So she like gets it locked in, pushing on the head, and Clay's like, all right, tap. Yeah. Tap it, and finally Ella lets go. And like right at this time, Rachel comes walking
upstairs.
in.
I'm like, what's everyone getting into?
We all get into.
Rachel walks in like, what's going on? And we're like, oh God, show Rachel your new move. And Ella's like, okay. And she
just sneaks up
she gets
behind
behind
her.
Rachel, puts her in a choke, and Rachel's like,
I like fell to the ground and everything.
Rachel didn't know what.
I didn't know how to tap out.
She didn't know what tapping was. We're like, Rachel, tap, and she's just like, ah.
I'm like, what I do?
Rachel just falls, and Ella's like on her, Ella basically takes her to the ground in a chokehold. We're like, you have to tap, Rachel. Oh gosh, that was so funny.
That was pretty.
That was so much
pretty
fun.
funny. You showed me a lesson, Ella.
Just we didn't even think to tell you need to tap. We were just like, okay.
You're just like, whatever. She'll
Oh
learn.
man, that was a really good time. Anytime y'all ever come over to the house, we always have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's always a good time.
Yep.
Since we're all here, I wanted to watch one of my favorite videos. I don't have the version where Ella's in it, but I have a super cut of it. Ella helped make this video. So this was a promotion that we did for KB back in 2019.
Ooh, it's a good one.
It's one of my
It's a good
favorite
one.
videos.
I love this video.
I need to pick my rifle. No, I think
Okay, that one's cool.
How dare you?
What, 2019?
Impressive.
That's when Ivan was pretty popular.
That's the rifle.
It took all day to film this.
I remember y'all were at the range for a while.
Yeah. This was the first, this is the first video we did like this, and it was like really special.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
So what's so special about that? This was right before the gunpocalypse on Instagram, and we really needed like a banger of a video to let everyone know that Kalash Bash was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That video got like 250,000 views on Instagram back in the day, and I was like, Tony, you are not gonna believe this. The freaking video we used to launch KB went viral. Like, couldn't have happened better. And then it was shortly after that Instagram stopped all the gun stuff from happening.
Yeah.
We got in right at the end of gun videos going viral, thank goodness, because we needed to tell everyone about our event.
Y'all got
So
in at the right
that video will
time.
always have a special place.
Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying my best life. Okay.
Oh yeah, the beginning of the video. I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Ella likes my new office.
Oh my gosh.
I don't, honestly.
Look,
What planet is that, Ella?
this is Uranus.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, I hope he doesn't say that.
Oh, man. Damn.
So Ella's getting to play a role in y'all's wedding in March. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Right.
You excited, Ella? We need to go get your dress soon.
The wedding. Are you excited? What are you gonna do? You're the DJ, right?
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
I think we just need to make her in charge of security,
That would be cool.
We could do that.
right?
Right.
Someone shows up that's supposed to be there.
So
Alexa
Rachel and I,
commented that her new nickname's the Spider Monkey. She liked that. Good comment.
we had an idea for the wedding. We have to have signs for parking, like immediate family park here. I wanted to have a sign that like pointed to like a shitty part where the ditch was, and it's like gypsies park here, and just have the sign
Like away from the wedding.
like way away from regular parking, like on the other side of the street.
And then we're gonna split it from gypsies to like everyone else sitting for the ceremony.
Speaking of vintage and really cool signs, check this out.
Yep.
I got something. You want to tell the story of this, Rachel?
So we sell all these tickets to our very first event in 2019, and we'd never done it before. One thing we didn't even think of was like we had no sign by the main entrance to get into the range.
Yep.
So we had vendors like that first hour missing. Everyone's missing the turn. It's just constant U-turns in front of the event. So I think someone had called and said, you should put something out there. We grabbed one of our parking signs that pointed once you got in the event. All I had was pink spray paint for the ground, for marking the ground. I didn't know what to do. So I spray painted AK with an arrow and stuck it in the ground.
They'll get it.
That's the best I could do.
Like, it was you, me, and someone else. We were all there. And right at that moment, Jason with Century like blew past us in his Escalade or whatever it was. And they're like, what are you doing? And we're like,
yeah.
Didn't y'all put Tufu in charge of parking? Like telling people where to park?
Yeah, 2019 was the Wild West, man.
It was the Wild West, and we did put Tufu. What was funny was Tufu was like, I really want to help. And Clay and I are like, all right, well, tell people where to park. And Tufu's like, okay.
And then I forgot about him, and like
yeah,
hours
like
went
an
by.
hour later, he's like, I'm going to go back to having fun. Like, are you quitting? But dude, this is probably one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia because it was just such a funny story. We didn't have any. We had this. I think we had maybe like 5 of these or 6 of these made up, and we just yanked it out of the ground, went all the way to the main entrance of the venue, and stuck this up so people would know this is where Kalash Bash was happening.
Like, all right, it's already there.
Oh, I remember. GPS was. We thought everyone would be coming one direction and taking a ride into the venue. A lot of people were coming from the other direction, so they were just seeing the back of the sign, and it was white. So it's like, oh shit, our signs aren't double-sided.
That's why y'all did it.
So it's just like, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, Tony, we're going a little past 2 hours here. What I was thinking what we would do is answer a couple more questions. I wanted to really hammer it home here that one thing that really helps us do these live streams, the YouTube channel, the events, everything, is the merch. It really is. And anytime that you guys buy this stuff, the t-shirts, the hats, it means so much to us, and it does help out the channel so much. You've been looking at these shirts for the last 2 hours in the background. If you didn't know, we launched 7 brand new designs. They are printed front. Every single shirt is printed front and back. It's the first time we've ever done something like that, as well as the third pin logo screen printed on your sleeve and in the back for your how to wash instructions and your super extra medium size indication.
Yep.
We worked really hard on these designs. These are designs that Tony and I come up with on our freaking own. We slave over them, and we really want them to be good. We don't pay anyone to do these designs for us, so we put a lot into them. So we really appreciate if you guys even pick up one of them. It helps us out tremendously. All available at thirdpinthreads.com.
Full disclosure, we actually do have artists that help us with some of like the raw images, but the actual designs of the shirts are done by us. We sit down and we come up with concepts and ideas, and then we throw them together for y'all.
And guys, not only here's the website if you've never seen it, pretty clean looking website. If you're like me and you like to wear hats and you're outside all the time, we got to keep the sun out of your eyes. We do have a few hats still in stock. Very classy leather patch hats. And we have some brand new designs. My current favorite right now is the green on green. Love that thing. But neon green's probably my all-time favorite. So yeah, man. Really cool stuff available for you guys right now. And you never know. Get some cool stickers with your purchase.
Hey, I want to make a comment.
Yep.
I'm getting a little bit of an echo, though. Anytime you have something pulled up, it echoes a little bit for me, just so you know. I don't know why, but Okay, so I think it's cool when you can do business with a small company, but you kind of get to know the people that are in the kitchen too, right? And so I don't know, I'm just kind of making my case to y'all. When you do business with Third Pin Threads, you're doing business with like friends, and that includes Rachel. It includes, like look behind me right now, okay, just so y'all know. Ella, move your head real quick. Okay. You see these boxes right here?
Yes.
That's Third Pin Threads. Okay. So when you do business, with Third Pin Threads, there we go. There's the
There you
shirts.
go.
Probably one of them right there. You're actually like doing business with us, right? Clay and Rachel help tremendously with coming up with concepts, coming up with creative ways to market this brand and grow this brand. And I'm here with my staff. We're working on Khyber Customs, which is over here on this side, and then Third Pin Threads, which is over here, to make sure that when you place an order, you're not waiting very long. We get orders out. We ship out orders 3 to 4 times a week, so you're not waiting very long. But y'all are doing business with us. It's not some person you never get to know or a group of people that you never meet. We do everything. This is our little family here, so we appreciate your support.
Well, guys, we told ourselves we wouldn't go 2.5 hours again, and we're getting close. We're 10 minutes from that mark. So I just want to say thanks for watching episode 2. Thanks for picking up the merch. Thanks for watching some of these videos with us. And thank you guys for interacting in the comments. It's been real. And this video will be shared live. It'll be available on YouTube shortly after we kill the stream. You can watch it again later. If you didn't get to see the whole thing, you can certainly watch it again later in 1080p. We use StreamYard. Not a free service. I wish it was, but we pay for the 1080p version, so when you do watch it later, it's the best quality that it can be. And as always, if you want us to keep doing this, let us know. Comment. Come back to the later video. Comment in the non-live comment section. Just tell us if you enjoyed it, you want us to do it again. We would love to have a guest on. We have a few guests in mind. I don't want to give them away, but so long as those guests can have access to a computer. We have some guests that are straight up wild men, and I don't even know if they know how to work a laptop with a microphone and a camera. So
We have to hire someone to go to their house and film them.
I really want to have them live. You guys would love having some of these people live, but these dudes are a little handy capable, and we're hoping they can get that resolved soon. So we do by episode 3. I want to have our first guest on. That's a goal that I would like to set right now.
Yep.
And what would be fun, Clay, is like we could do a whole podcast or whatever you want to call this. We could pick a topic, like it could be conspiracy theories, and like the whole episode can be talking about conspiracy theories, watching videos, like just like going down like the deep web, like we can pick topics just to make the whole episode about and really have a fun time.
Oh, and that's Austin, thank you so much, man. That's another thing, guys. There are still very limited tickets available for Kalash Bash. Ask Austin. He'll tell you why he bought one. It's the same reason why you should come out and buy one. With that, guys, Rachel, would you like to say anything? Tell these people good night.
Sure. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and supporting.
Thanks, guys.
Can you hear me?
They can hear you. Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in and supporting Clay and Tony and Kalash Bash, Third Pin Threads, and Khyber Customs.
All right, that's enough. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Tony, as always, love you, buddy. Rachel, everybody involved.
Bye, Ella.
It's been a good one.
Love you, Ella.
Y'all have a great night. We'll see you later on this week. Have fun at the match tomorrow. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Don't shoot your whatever off.
Don't shoot your eye out. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
All right.
Later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.